What's up, friends? Welcome to Music Exposed. We're back. It's been a little while. We had some things happen. Sarah had to be a giant diva and is like, I don't want Music Exposed on my channel anymore. I'm not open to that. I don't want Music Exposed. I don't like Music Exposed. I'm not about that Music Exposed life. She just like, get this garbage off my channel. I hate music streamers. I hate everything about music. And she's like, why would you do this? Bocata de Clavos, thank you so much for that follow.
This is much appreciated.
I know, I appreciate that. But we're at our new home, in all seriousness, because we want, obviously, Music Exposed to continue to allow us to promote indie music, to continue to build, what we would like to see more of in the music community, which is exposure for musicians. Take the trash out. Yes, thanks, K-Poco. And I'm very excited to have this here. And as Sarah mentioned on her channel, one of the big reasons that we decided to move the live streaming home is because I do music more often and music content more often, and both Sarah and I do more performance on this. Reading Code Warrior, thank you so much for dropping that sub to Dark Knight. I appreciate you. Thank you, by the way. Anyway, getting back to it. But one of the reasons that we moved it is because I do a lot more music content. Oh my god, everyone's hanging out today. No Chomsky, thanks so much for that follow. That gift sub 5 months for Dark Knight, by the way. Thank you guys so much for that. I appreciate the support. But Music Exposed, obviously, we were thinking that when audiences come in and when people are watching, for music content and we have guests on and we're sharing that community, we obviously want them to be on the more music-focused channel than, on Sarah's channel. Because obviously Sarah doesn't provide any content at all. And speaking of Sarah Jazz, my illustrious co-host, look at her. What happened to your arms? You had some weird surgery going on there that the bottom half of your arm is like bigger than the top half of your arm. What's up with that? I don't understand.
I have been doing a lot of bean flicking. That only works the lower part of your so
I don't know what that means. Can you explain what that means to me? And of course, our first stream back, and the first thing we go into, it's like, let's talk about music. No, we're just going to talk about bean flicking. That's what's happening on the stream. That's what this is.
Yes.
This is a bean flicking stream.
I mean, you asked me, so you asked me.
Yes,
so,
because I asked you, that's exactly why we should go back to that. Yes.
Very, very truthfully. You know what I mean?
Oh, well, thank you. Why have you been doing so much bean flicking then? If we're getting into the serious topics, let's just get into it. Why?
Because I've been listening to your music a lot.
That's terrible. I hate this. I hate that. I couldn't hate that more. Yes. Why am I still hearing myself on your stream? I'm still getting a little bit of an echo. I don't know why. If you have oh my god. Thomas Frank, thanks so much for that host. We appreciate you. Love that. And my deafening alerts. That's what you guys are going to love about this channel is you come on and you're like, wait, the Silence Noises channel has all these crazy alerts that are going on. Yes, I do. Not just weird giggle snorting noises like you have on your channel. Obviously, that's how you know it's a music channel. Obnoxious, blasting music plays all the time, right?
Yes, that's very true.
Oh my god, thank you. Everyone is like, oh my god, we're following this today. What is happening today? Thank you so much, Mr. Irish, for that. I appreciate that.
Yes.
And I appreciate all the love and all the subs and everything that's starting today. So I wanted to give you a chance to explain it because, yes, I made a joke about it at the beginning of the stream that you're obviously too big for Music Exposed now. But why don't you tell us a little bit about why? Because this was a mutual decision. This wasn't like me saying oh, I want to take Music Exposed, and it wasn't you saying I don't want to do Music Exposed anymore. Matt, thanks so much for that host. Everyone was waiting until we were talking. They're like, not during that 10-minute loop. We're going to host now when you've started talking.
Yeah,
now is the time.
It now when we start
I should
talking.
Move the alert to the middle of the desk. I just thought about that.
You
But anyway, so why don't you explain a little bit of why you wanted to make this move as well?
I explained it on my stream earlier where it was getting
Well, this
ready,
isn't your stream anymore. Explain
no,
it on
I'm
our
just
stream.
saying. I explained it in more detail if you want to see it in more detail because I legit talked for an hour about this. But in this is not like the show went from prime time to whatever prime, non-prime time.
To Amazon Prime.
to Amazon Prime. It didn't. It's not like that, and we're not. the show is not less important or anything. We're putting the same effort, or actually even more effort now, into it. The thing is that we built the show to a certain reputation and a certain, just that people know what it is and that Music Exposed exists. The thing is, on my channel, what I have been noticing is people follow with Music Exposed, which is a show for, promoting musicians and more of a serious thing, although we do jokes obviously in the first hour and stuff, but it's more of a serious podcast / TV show, or
serious
show. And
yeah, I think of it as more of a show
channel,
than a podcast. I mean, yes, it is a podcast and we distribute it in that format, but where most people watch this, actually, believe it or not, is on the YouTube channel. Like, we get a fair amount of views on Twitch, but we actually get a lot of views on the YouTube videos that are posted on the Music Exposed playlist and on the website musicexposed.show and on the podcast version. So our audience has actually grown beyond just the live stream, which is awesome. I think a lot of people were drawn into it by various people,
Yeah, and I think when people follow my channel and the next day they come to my channel and I'm literally sitting on a toilet on my stream, people are gonna be like, "What the
Who
fuck
does
is
that?
this?" You know what I mean?
Who does
and your
that?
channel is actually music. Of course, you have memes too, but your channel is a music channel, so it makes more sense. And you are obviously just as important on the show. So I thought it just makes more sense, because that way we retain more followers, if that makes sense.
As Solbear says, you don't sit on the toilet, you sit right in it. That is true. She
That's
does.
very true. That's very true. Sometimes I sit on it, but when I work, then I sit in it. But
right.
I think it's the smartest way to go with this show, because the show wasn't gaining as much traction anymore on my channel, and I think for the show to grow, I think it must be on a channel that actually makes sense, that is about music, which is this channel right here. Because on my channel, I think it hit a plateau.
Okay.
And on this channel, I think it has the potential to grow and to actually become more of a name again, and further,
more of a name again further. After we ruined it on your channel, and people were
kind of.
we totally ruined it on your channel. That's true, right?
But I ruined it.
That is not true. Shut up! Oh my God. Yes, but that is, and people were also wondering, like, why did we take a little break from Music Exposed? I want to explain that a little bit too. It actually wasn't that long. It was like, less than 6 weeks, but we took a little time off because we needed to reschedule some stuff with my travel. The Music Exposed date fell on my travel dates and the dates that I was coming back to the U.S. And then we had Wax Wayne scheduled, but unfortunately he had to reschedule because he wasn't sure he was going to make his deadline for his release and stuff, and he wanted to talk about what he's doing with Awakener. And so it wasn't just us going rescheduling. It seemed like 5 years. Yes, it was definitely 5 years. We're like, we hate music now. But yeah, I mean, with all the travel and all the stuff, it was a couple weeks of me getting resettled in the U.S. and obviously getting ready to do the stream as I'm still perfecting things. I had done Music Exposed while Sarah was gone. I had done a month of it, so I had most of the scenes built and that kind of stuff. But I realized that I disassembled things for some reason, before we started doing the show. For whatever reason, I disassembled a bunch of stuff from the scenes and took cameras out and was taking browser sources out to try to fix my OBS. And so that was a fun thing to discover yesterday when I started working on this with Sammy and I started doing the tests and that kind of thing. So isn't it exciting? You just actually had an issue with that. We don't talk about this stuff a lot, but you actually had an issue with that with your Streamlabs, where your Streamlabs got overwritten and deleted a bunch of your scenes that you were using on the show. And you've still been rebuilding from that, right? Of a bunch of the streams that got lost, which is, that's the thing. We should go back to the trash set. There we go. Look at that. Code Warrior, thanks so much for that gift to the one and Dennis. Is that what you want? I mean, I can do that. Hold on. I should have a button for it, but, here, we can do this. Does this make you feel better, Matt? Is this more retro? Is this good?
This is
I do what I do love most about this scene is the fact that the fire is just minimized to my side of the studio. It's good that it's just over here and you're safe from it. Clearly the fire is not expanding to you. You know, that's
Yes.
important.
I'm-
we should have a
I'm
version.
like-
I agree. We should have a version of this scene. Okay, I need to build this for the next one where we have you in a toilet and me in the trash like this.
Yes.
We definitely need that
That would be
scene where it's
amazing.
both. Yes, we need both of those. Yes, we need a Rudy remodel again. We need to.
agree.
That's one thing I want to do more. That's one of the other reasons we moved Music Exposed live to this channel is obviously I do the Music Exposed festivals, which I want to get back to those where we have, you know, various artists performing original music and that kind of thing. And the other reason is that I want to do more like roundtable stuffs and have return guests and talk about music topics and music streamer topics and that kind of thing. And with Music Exposed being on this channel, we can do it under the branding of Music Exposed, which is good. Because one of the things that has driven me crazy about the show a little bit to this point is that we have a big enough list of music streamers and music people that we could theoretically not have return guests for another couple of years. Like, there's so many streamers that we love that we haven't had on and we haven't invited, and we put together this massive spreadsheet of like 200 music streamers back when we started Music Exposed. Oh my God, Shax Pedal Guy, thank you so much for that. 9 months, we have a baby now.
Daddy.
But I want to have
baby?
more return people back. Like, I had so much fun, and it was so much fun when we had guest co-hosts on the show and stuff. Like when Miss Mary
Yeah.
Lou came back and Existence came back and that kind of thing. And that's definitely something I know that we
I
want to
also
do
feel like
again.
there's some guests that I missed that I would like to have or would like to interview, like
Which
Northbound
guest?
Matt.
Oh, why
like,
should we
Northbound
let you
Matt-
talk to Northbound Matt? Why should we do that?
Because
Like-
I think he's funny and I like his music and his streams make me happy. So I was very excited to like
Make me happy.
interview
Make
him.
me happy.
Make me happy.
Animal Crossing.
I'll say
Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing.
Speaking of music,
Animal Crossing.
you can find that on Spotify as well. Yes.
But I want Sabrina Solo or Megan Linus. We might actually.
I have both. I have both on my list. I know Sabrina a little bit better than Megan. Oh my God, Code Warrior! Dropping that gift sub to Wolfgang Merckx. Thank you so
Obrigada,
much.
Warrior.
Thank you. Obrigado. Beijinhos bananas. We appreciate that. Thank you so much for the love.
This is also a great thing that, you know, your channel this way will grow too, because, you know, you have more subs and Twitch will take you more seriously because you make them more money.
Yes. I don't know if people realize, like, I think one of the things that I love is people look at me and they're like, silence, where is it? Oh, do I still have it? Hold on. Silence, we think you're so much bigger than you are, you know? We think that you're so hot and we know everything about you. You're such a big, strapping, handsome man. But what a lot of people don't realize is, like, my stream is actually still very tiny. This channel is actually still very tiny. Like, most of the guests that we've had on Music Exposed are actually much larger streamers than I am. And what's getting sad at this point is I've been doing this for over 2 years now. This is like 2 years and 2 months of streaming. And it's like most of the guests and most of the people we have on the show are a much bigger channel than I am. So obviously everything helps. And Music Exposed on Sarah's channel, we did mention this before, like, was smaller than her average stream. Like, if you just did a regular stream like you just did of, you know, sitting in the toilet for 4 hours and playing games and that kind of thing, you would do better than you did on Music Exposed, which really sucks because we put so much fucking work. We put so much fucking work into the show, and it's like, can you believe it? Yeah.
Even my stream where I just filmed the bathtub with a bikini floating in it for 4 hours. I was not in the shot for a second. Actually, I left the house while I was doing
We
that
did.
stream.
We both left the house. We went on a trip,
we
yeah.
both left the house, and I just did that stream. And obviously, I had mods controlling the chat and stuff in case something happened. But, yeah, so even that stream where a 4-hour bathtub stream with a bathtub full of water and a bikini in it had more viewers than Music Exposed does on my channel.
It has more viewers than Music Exposed, and it has at least double the views of my stream. Like, people are like, yeah, it has at least double.
If that doesn't make you want to make you pippy hands, then I don't know what's happening.
Yes,
you know?
I don't think, and that's the thing. Like, that is part of why we wanted to launch it originally on your channel, where, you know, obviously we were hopeful
for more
that
exposure.
having the big reach and having the exposure would help more of those things, you know, but it really didn't, unfortunately.
It did in the beginning. It did in
Yeah.
the beginning, and I feel like it had some momentum. I really blame the people bad mouthing it. That it just
I know you're really on about that. Like
I'm really on about that. You know why? Because
I
I just
understand.
think it's disrespectful, and I think it's shitty. And
I agree. I agree.
And those are the people who talk about the music community, how they're
yes, the music community is full of angels.
And then
Yes, we're all angels.
they will fuck you from behind without consent. You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't think that's okay. You know, I mean, you know, not in the workplace at least.
I mean, I'm just saying.
I mean, it's never okay. Don't cancel me. My God, I can't.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah, okay. Well, I can, yes, that's a thing.
It's never okay. Everything with consent.
No, I mean, I totally understand. I am sick of a few things, and we've talked about this before. I am sick of the bullshit that people pull that to be successful in Twitch music, you have to be like a wholesome streamer. You have to be the person that's like wholesome and sensitive and yada, yada, yada. When you look at, let's look beyond the music community for a second and just look at successful streamers on Twitch. A lot of the most successful streamers are foul-mouthed, nasty, like memey assholes, and they're pulling tens of thousands of views. Whereas, like, the biggest people in the music category at this point, like, the biggest normal people, and I'm not talking about when you have the big acts come in and the big festivals and that kind of thing, but, like, the biggest musicians that launched from Twitch and are starting, like, Halocene, Lara, you know, people like that, they're still only pulling, like, 1,000, 2,000 people at this point. Whereas it's like, if you want to be a really big streamer on Twitch, you know, you don't necessarily have to shy away from controversy. And plus, the other thing that drives me crazy is that, you know, some people see something that's successful and they're like, oh, well, I have to do just that. Like, it's like, okay, well, I see that, you know, sensitive streamer person that has Christmas lights hanging in a plant in the corner is a successful model. Now we have 15 of those streamers. And yes, a lot of them are very good. It's not critiquing their ability or that kind of thing. It's just saying, like, that's not the only model. It's not the only way to be successful. And especially if you're an artist and you're trying to do something original and you're trying to create something, it really like, I can't do that. I was thinking about this. I was talking about the fact that, first of all, congratulations, huge congratulations. Actually, I need to pull up my crowd. Hold on, where is it? Huge congratulations. Alana Madu, a recent guest on the show, she finally made partner. Congratulations to her for that. I'm very excited that she was able to do that, and it's awesome that she made partner. And you know, it's she's doing Cozy Corner now, which is kind of like a similar idea to what we were doing with the Music Exposed Festival, which is awesome. And it's like, I love anybody that's highlighting new original music. That's like, okay, not covers of Creep, not Tammy. Thanks so much for that host. Appreciate you. But I appreciate anybody that is highlighting people that are going in creative and new directions with things. Like, to me, that is my favorite part about Twitch, is about streaming music in general, is that you can find amazing original music. And I know I say this a lot on this show and on my stream, where I say, like, if I had the choice on a Friday night between going to see a cover band, you know, play all the hits over and over and over, or going to see an indie rock act or an indie band, I would choose the indie band 10 out of 10 times. And I think you would be that person too. You'd choose that because you want to see something interesting and new. And I think that is one area where, yes, what's amazing about this, and I actually have posted a bunch on our site. If you haven't been to musicexposed.show recently, oh my God, Salty! Salt Nation, such an amazing supporter. 16 freaking months.
Diesel 59 salt. Text Diesel 59 salt.
I miss you, Salty. How are you doing, buddy?
And Salty, bro, 16 months, man. Been a while. Good to see ya.
Thank you so much for that. Salt Nation has been over there. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. I have a story about cover bands, basically.
Sure.
I had a gig, this is several years ago, I had a gig at a festival with a blues band. And this is a fairly known blues band, and it's the blues band that played with B.B. King. And they... they had this gig at the festival, and I was hired as a horn section and, you know, be part of the horn section. And we were, I think it was a full festival, so the full day. I think it was like the full weekend. So that day, the last band, we were the band before the last band, and the last band was a cover band. And they did things like AC/DC, you know, things like that. And, you know, party rock, basically.
Party rock is in the house tonight.
And the crowd was like double of what it was the whole day. The whole day was all original people. But on the cover night, it was double. Like it went from like 1,000 people to 2,000 or something standing around. And they were so spot on. We were sitting backstage and we were listening to it and we were like, dude, this sounds like they're just playing a CD. It's that accurate. But they were playing obviously live. And it was that accurate. They really, really perfected that. And the day after, we stopped on the way back from our tour, on the way back home, we stopped with our little shitty tour bus at a gas station.
Okay. Is like, that's like half of your life as a touring musician is just shitty gas stations. That's just the thing. Yeah.
And on the other side of the gas station, of the gas pump, we see this black, super like huge bus, you know, super big, like everything darkened, nice rims and stuff. Like you could see like that is a bus with money, you know? And we're looking and we're like, man, one day we're gonna have a bus like that for the band. And I kid you not, the fucking cover band comes out of it. And we're like, yep. Okay, of course, it's the cover band's bus. Of course it is. I'm not kidding you. This sounds like a made-up story, but it's true.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. No, I totally get it. I totally get it. Well, and I know that because, you know, up here, I live in a tourist area, and my sister has worked for many years in entertainment up here, and the biggest acts that are here, the shows that sell out every time, that kill every time, the kind of default acts that get booked are always cover acts. Like there's Motown shows and there's 80s shows and that kind of thing. And like people just want to see that. And I understand if you want to be a musician to make money. Oh my God. Code Warrior, thank you so much for that gift of the Tiger. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Warriors on fire today.
Subs.
Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. I am so appreciative of that. Anyway, but I know that the biggest acts up here and the acts that make the most money are touring acts. And so if you want to make money as a musician, you should be in a successful cover band. There's way, 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 way more money to make in that. Yeah, exactly. Another cover band, you know, former coworker, my sister, and they play up here a lot, used to work for a Beatles cover act called Rain. Actually, a lot of people are familiar with them because they've toured around the world and they play all over the place. And they are like that. They have the full, you know, touring stage rig and crew. The Australian Pink Floyd show. Like, there's so much money to be made in that kind of thing. And it's so much less work than trying to be an original musician. You know, being an original musician, you're going to play in shitty bars to 5 people a lot. And people, you're having to sell people on your music, and you're having to sell people on your art, and you're having to do that. And you're poor most of the time. And most of the acts that I know, we've talked about this on the show too, that as middle-class musicians have been, like, eliminated from everything. The fact that it's harder and harder these days to be a middle-class musician. I can't even imagine what it's going to be like. I can't wait to see what happens when entertainment comes back after COVID. The fact at this point that the music industry has basically been wiped out. Like, outside of the big acts, like, if it hadn't been dead for middle-class musicians before, at this point, now with half the music venues closing and like a lot of the independent things closing and that kind of thing, I can't do that on this show. I'll owe you a BJ. I'll owe you a BJ. Okay, it'll be coming soon.
Wow.
Yeah. Go hands. Yeah, I'll get you one later. The giraffe will get you one later. Okay, look at those eyebrows. Anyway, but yes, Salt Nation later, no problem. I'll make sure that that's available for you. But anyway, I was saying that, you know, I'm scared for a lot of independent musicians. I do think, like you think, that there will be a boom in live entertainment. Like, we're already starting to see it. As entertainment comes back, there's going to be tons of people. But a lot of the venues have closed. Like, a lot of the independent music venues have closed. And everyone's going to want sure things. No one's going to want to take risks when it comes back. So, yeah, that cover band that you're talking about is probably going to be even richer after this happens. Like, it's going to be way
100%.
richer. Because independent music is going to get fucked like it always does. Because everybody's always in line to fuck an independent musician. It's like, hey, if we can take some of your money, like, you've got $10, we want 8 of it. You know, we're going to do that at this point. Sarah's getting a little jealous. I know, she's normally the one that does that, okay? I understand. It's normally her job on the show. She's the...
To
listen,
give DJs?
Yeah, of course.
On the show?
Yes, on Step Chat. What do you mean? I should do that on the show.
What do you mean? What do you mean, Step Chat?
But
I'm
I
stuck
would never.
in the toilet again, Step Chat. Oh no.
Yeah, that's true. Oh
Help
my
me, Step Chat.
God.
Oh no, Step Chat. What are you doing, Step Chat?
Yeah. See, that is the thing. It's always your job to drag the content down into the gutter. That's your job on the show. Okay.
That's why
I do that.
I am a floaty in a toilet.
A floaty. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You know.
I saw that stream, but it was on Hornpub. That's true. Yes. I love Hornpub is an interesting site.
You know,
But
fun
Yes.
fact. You know what got leaked? 90% of the actors aren't actually stepsister/stepbrother.
Oh God, who would have guessed it? I saw something on TikTok last night that was kind of funny. Some comedian had a bit. I don't remember who it was, but they had a bit about how Pornhub titles are getting more and more confusing. Like, when you go to look at them, you're like, oh, I'm supposed to be turned on, but now I'm getting confused. And I know the bit that he was talking about was the fact that one title said twin stepsisters. So it's like, how do you... Exactly, the look on your face is exactly what that is. How can you be a twin stepsister? What?
I think they're maybe getting some inspiration from Wish, where it's like bottle baby blue women's men's fashion apparel. Bike.
It's just a robot that's writing the titles.
Yeah,
Yes, it's not even a real person.
It's just everything, you know,
Yes.
that could potentially have something to do with it. So
Yes.
know,
And I was going to ask you
getting-
too, like, obviously you played a lot of gigs over the years as a jazz musician. Was it generally a lot more profitable for you to do bands where you played in, you know, I know you played in cover acts and you did original stuff. So what was your experience? The cover shows were generally more lucrative as well?
Absolutely. I mean, playing with a cover band always gives you more money. And it's also where the most hobby musicians are and not the professional musicians.
So what do you
Because
think
it's
is the
funny.
difference? I want to ask you, what do you think is
Yeah.
the difference between a hobby musician and a professional musician?
There's no there's in terms of skill, there is not really a difference. The only difference is that a hobby musician doesn't do it full time and a professional does it full time.
Okay.
So most of the cover band people aren't professionals.
Frank.
They are.
Totally legit. 90% of jazz bands are cover bands. This is
That's
true.
very true, actually. That's very
Yes.
true. My band was an original band, but you know, it was we called it jazz, but it, you know, it was kind of in the jazz genre, but it could have also been a little bit of hip hop and stuff. Anyways, but
Jip
yes,
hop.
The gigs that
Jap
I
hop.
made most.
That sounds very racist.
The gigs. Yes, the gigs that I made most money in was with my band. Yes, sometimes with like when we were playing in big halls or something. That was good money, but we were also, you know, fairly successful for a jazz band because we did original stuff and not just standards and stuff like that. But yeah, mostly I made most money with like, you know, small cover bands or the ones that I made I think the ones that are best paid still in that, you know, in that level, I guess, are musicians hotel musicians. So
Yeah, exactly.
Hotel
Yeah.
musicians with a keyboard that know only one key, which is C, and any other key is just a press of a button as a plus or a minus.
What's wrong with that? I can press
So
buttons. Pressing buttons
remember-
is good. Okay.
I remember this guy. He hired me a few times, and he was like he still is a hotel bar musician basically, and
Yes.
he plays with a keyboard, and he hires musicians, normally a singer and then a soloist, a saxophone. And he legit tells me the key is +2, and I'm like, what is a +2?
What, you can't play algebra? Well, how do you even know music and not know algebra? Could you play +2?
He legit was like, and he was a music teacher too in a school. I'm
That's
not kidding you.
amazing.
I was like so mind blown
That is so
because this first,
amazing.
I think I played like 3 gigs or something with him because he pays well, and
Yes.
and he doesn't even bother telling me.
Fun fact, if you pay
what-
well, Sarah will play with you.
That's very true. I will play with you if you pay well. But it was insane to me because the first time I played with him, he was like, let's practice a little beforehand because he got me off of Facebook basically. He messaged me on Facebook.
He got you off of Facebook.
Yeah, he got me off. And I went into the practice room, and it was a school, and it was his like music room school, and he was a teacher, and he legit was like, can we do this and that in the key of +2 or +4? And I'm like, what do you
mean, step
What do
piano
you
player?
mean,
What do you mean, step piano player? +4.
What are you talking about? Yeah, and at some point I was like, just never mind, just you play the song and I'll just follow. I have good ear. It doesn't matter, whatever.
I have.
Because
Sarah
legit,
does have good ear.
I have good ear.
Yes, can you play in the key of +69? That's important. Can you do that?
That was so like that I don't understand. I legit don't understand musicians like this. And this guy was also. I'm sorry that I'm ranting, but sometimes you.
That's
just,
the point of the show.
come
We're
across-
talking about music. Rant.
You
Yes.
sometimes the rant, but with a better co-host. Sorry.
Shots fired! Oof. T.
What was I saying?
You were talking about how you don't understand musicians like that.
Oh yeah, so musicians like that, and he was like, he told me that. He was like, oh, we are the musicians, we are like the clowns of society, and we're like the poor
He said
clowns
musicians
of
are
society.
the clowns of society.
Yeah, poor clowns
He's not
of
wrong.
society.
He's not wrong though. Like you
He's
can't.
not wrong, no.
He's not wrong. Like everybody
He's not wrong,
loves
but
to. Everybody
Sorry.
loves to simultaneously shit on musicians and act like, oh, they have it so easy and all that stuff. But then, like, glorify them. Be like, oh, they've changed my life. Music changed my life. I love these songs. But then they're just like, oh, well, being a musician is the dregs. Like,
Yeah.
that's not a real job if you're not in an
But
office.
you know what the hypocrisy of this was? He was
What?
saying the poor clowns, right? Like, we don't make a lot of money and stuff, and, he
Yeah.
was ranting about that. While driving an brand new Audi SUV. I was like, you motherfucker. What are you talking about?
Yes.
You know?
Wow, Wolfgang Merck's DJs are the better musicians. These days, you would think so by festival performances.
Yeah.
That's just how it is.
Yeah.
Like being a successful rock band is like a thing of the past. And it's like anybody that I know that is doing amazing and interesting things in the space is struggling. Like even the touring ones are struggling.
Yeah.
Like everybody's trying to figure out ways. Like that's the tough part. DJs are DJs, not musicians. I think, okay, here's what I would say. I think some DJs are musicians. There is a
Yes.
class of DJ that are musicians. But most DJs are not musicians. Like most DJs are not that. That is what I think. There are some that have the gift for it, but they are few. Not all DJs are musicians, though. That's the thing. I just like, yes, because
Yeah, I
a lot of
agree.
musicians, like, if you can take something, there is a real gift. I will say this to people that can flip loops or people that can do like live improvisational stuff, like SammySideFX, who's coming on, does live improvisational stuff and just does stuff off the cuff. And there are some people with Ableton or with people like that who can transform songs into other songs, and they can transform like a beat and mix elements from different songs together and mash things up and do it all on the fly. Like people that can do that are fucking incredibly talented. It's something that I have no idea how to do, But people that are really skilled at that, like that's something amazing to watch because you never really know what's coming. But
Yeah, I agree.
if I'm like, even me, if I DJ, I'm just a jukebox. Like, I'm just a jukebox DJ that's paying attention to the crowd and working the crowd. Kind of like playing your favorite music mixed with watching the energy of the crowd to see what's resonating and what isn't.
Yes.
Is what's important. And trying to keep it like, that's the difference between me and a jukebox is, trying to throw in some surprises and some things that aren't the things that you hear on the bar jukebox every week, because most jukeboxes, this is the fun part, play like the same 50 songs over and over and over. If you ever talk to somebody that works in a bar or is a cocktail waitress or bartender or whatever, they will tell you, you hear the same 30 songs every day.
Yeah.
Every day that you're at work, the jukebox is the same. Yes, surprises like Zombie. Yes, I'll throw Zombie in the mix. That's true. I mixed Du Hast with Let the Bodies Hit the Floor. I don't like Drowning Pool. I'm not a fan of Drowning Pool. I'm not gonna lie. They're solidly in that early 2000s douche rock phase, and I'm not a huge fan. However, what it is, it's fucking douche rock. There's no other way to put it. It's like all those bands are bands that like douchey people like. And still
Yes.
20 years later, like all the same guys are going to watch those dudes at festivals. It's like, bro, let's go fucking watch some Kid Rock and some Disturbed with Limp Bizkit, and yeah, like it's all the same people. Like, you know who it is. They're driving. You know who it is. Okay, Exploding Butt Rock. Yes, that's what it is. It's just not my favorite. Nirvana is not douche rock. I'm also not. This is another thing. I'm also not a big Nirvana fan. I actually think the best thing that happened in Nirvana was Foo Fighters came out after it. Like, Dave Grohl is the genius of that band, in my opinion. I think Nirvana is horribly overrated. I think Nirvana is the Doors of their generation. They're just like, oh, he was a tortured genius, tortured soul. I can identify with that. And, I don't know. That's just my opinion. I think Nirvana is very overrated. But I think Dave Grohl is a fucking genius. So I don't know. I don't understand all the talk. I hate Nirvana. They whine in their songs. I've never been a huge fan of Nirvana. Like, there's a couple of songs I like. Now, if Never Muse were here, he'd be reading me the riot act right now because he's a massive Nirvana fan.
He is? Aw.
Yeah, it struck him. You know what I think it is for Never Muse, though? It hit him right at the right time. And he and I share a lot of bands that we really like as well. It's just the Nirvana craze never hit me. It's like really the first of those bands that really resonated with me in my early teens when I heard it was Soundgarden, which is why when Chris Cornell passed away, it was such a huge deal. Like, Soundgarden was really the one that first pulled me into that. Yeah, and Alice in Chains is another one for me, too. Like, I think that scene has a lot of amazing stuff in it, but yeah, it wasn't Nirvana for me. It was Soundgarden was really the first band. Do you listen to any grunge rock? Do you remember listening to any grunge rock, or are you too young for that? You're one of the little kiddies. You ever listen to any grunge?
I'm too young for that, to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
the rock that I listened to was, I think, the first, you hate this band, but you know who I'm gonna, the first rock band that I listened to consciously was Linkin Park.
I don't think that Linkin Park is a rock band. Like, Linkin Park is like a
yeah,
weird.
they're like mainstream
They're a hybrid.
rock,
They're a hybrid. Like, here's the thing.
theory.
Not a huge fan of Linkin Park personally. I don't hate them. Like, they're just kind of neutral radio music to me. But I don't.
What?
I don't think that they're to me.
No.
I said to me, not in general. I know to some people that's and Never Muse is here. Never Muse is here to. We're gonna rekindle. All right, Never Muse. These are the classic battles between Never Muse and I. The Scott Weiland, Chris Cornell, fucking Jeff Buckley debate, and then Nirvana. Those are the two that get Never Muse fired up. Talking about those bands. I summoned him by talking about him because we did that. But I don't think of Linkin Park as a rock band. I think they're a hip-hop act that has rock elements in it. I think they're kind of like next level Cypress Hill. Like, because I don't think of them as a rock band, personally. Like, I think of them as something else. Like that.
Yeah,
they're,
it could be like rock hop or something like that.
Rock hop.
But
yes.
rock hop.
Hippity
but
hop.
then after that, I started listening more to
The
things
Silent
like,
Noise sucks. You're right, K-Poco. Everything that the Silent Noise releases sucks because it came out after 1995. You are correct. Rock hop.
After that, after that, I started listening to more heavy stuff like System of a Down, Korn, Avenged Sevenfold,
I
and
like that
people
you
like
think
that.
of System of a Down as heavier stuff. I do.
It
I
is
do.
a
I can
little
appreciate
heavier.
that.
It is a little
Yes, heavier than Linkin Park. I guess if we're on the Linkin Park scale, it's heavier than that. But I'm like,
I
yeah,
mean,
yes.
and then when I loved Lordy, by the way, like Lordy was nice. I listened to Slipknot too. Yeah, those were like that was the rock that I listened to. Like I think the highest or the heaviest stuff that I listened to was probably like Slipknot or something.
Yeah. Oh my God. New metal, yes. Power. Thank you so much for that follow. I appreciate you. Yeah, I think that I don't know that I agree with that, Salty. Like I find stuff in every decade to like. Like I'm definitely not one of those people that's like music ended in 1994. Like I don't think that at all. I just think that douche metal, exactly. I just think that what gets pushed to the forefront, what really gets pushed to the forefront is, you know, the commercial stuff, and there's always good stuff to find. There's always like if you're willing to explore. And these days, that's the problem with modern music, and I know again some of these are repetitive topics, we've talked about them. The issue these days is that more of the onus is on the listener than it is on the curation services. If you want to find good music today, you have to actively seek it out. Now, the cool thing is that the algorithms really work with you if you do that. Like, if you listen to, if you suck my onus, Nirvana's overrated, suck that onus. Anyway, but no, I think that you have to go out and find it more and teach YouTube or Spotify or whatever else to find it for you.
Yeah, and it works.
And if you do, it does.
Actually.
Like you were saying the other day.
So many amazing artists by just letting YouTube do its thing. Basically, like I start with a full album of, I don't know, like that's how I, for example, found Bad Bad Not Good. Like Bad Bad Not Good is such a good, amazing, like modern jazz / hip hop band. And that's how I found them. And that's how I found Caravan Palace, which I'm not a big fan of them, but that's like how I knew of
You're
them.
like, I found this band. I don't like them, but I found them.
I'm just saying, like I found so many awesome music by just clicking on things that I've never heard before on YouTube, you know?
Yeah. Well, and it's like, I think that one of the things is one of the best ways to start, this is if you want to train your YouTube or train your Spotify, talk to people that like indie music. Oh my God. Hi, Sammy. You're very loud.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, we can hear all that, Sammy. Thank you.
Oh,
they
God.
can't, but
Okay,
we can.
I'll come back.
Sammy comes in like full blast. Yes.
I was like,
hi,
what
Sammy.
is happening? I was like, what is happening here?
Yes, it was beautiful.
And all of the left channel too. Very true.
Yes. Yeah. Anyway, but what I was saying, yes, because he's in this scene. He's normally not. I enjoy that. Entering the ring at this time, SammySideFX. It's because he's streaming right now. He's like coming live from a stream, and he's going to be rating us anyway. But yes, do I want that birthday beer? It's not my birthday, but yes, I enjoy a good beer. But now I've lost track of what I was talking about. Oh, so talk to your friends that know indie music and get recommendations of a couple of different bands. Like for me, you know, I make them all the time. Like The Deer Hunter, The Family Crest, Oh Brother is a good one. There's a million great indie bands that I can think of. Or indie bands in your style, like Verite, things like that. Find a few of those. And plug those in, you know, listen to the tracks, like the tracks that you like, and then listen to a radio station based off those artists, and that's how you start. And then just make sure that you're liking stuff from those artists, and you will find amazing stuff. That's how I found. There's Sammy. Thank you so much for that raid, Sammy. Sammy will be on in a second.
Thank you, Sammy.
He can come back. He just has to mute himself. Yeah. No, you're fine, man. Don't worry. But if you listen to those bands and then you seek those out, that's how we found like Reign of Kindo, for example, which Reign of Kindo is amazing, and Wax Chattels.
Good, yes.
Wax Chattels is a different story. I've told that story on my stream. Wax Chattels is amazing, but they're another one. You plug them in, you'll get tons of weird indie stuff that you've never heard any other way? What's going on,
For
Sammy Side
example,
Crew?
I had you recommended to me IMX with
Oh,
which
God,
I'm
I
like
love
a
IMX. They're
huge
so fucking
fan
great. Yeah.
of. Like I love IMX. They're
What
so
happened to you?
amazing.
Oh, there you go. You came back.
And
Hold on. I keep losing Sarah for some reason.
you do?
What is happening?
What? Hello? I'm here. What are you talking about?
Can you guys still? You guys can still hear her. I can't now. I don't know what just happened
You
there.
can't? Yeah.
You see her, but do
me.
you hear her?
Hello?
Yeah, she's here. Just keep going, Sarah. I can't hear you. I don't know what
Hi.
happened there, but
Big fat
There she is.
penises. Oh, sorry. Did you hear that?
I hear you now. Thank you for that.
Oh yeah, so IMX, and if you go like down that road of listening to full albums, you start getting recommended other albums that are similar or similar artists, and yeah, that way is just a great on YouTube. Actually, I think it's a great way to discover new people, especially if you like legit listen to the full album. You get like the whole spectrum of also like very small indie people. That's also how I discovered Liana La Havas, who is a pop artist, but that's how I discovered her before she blew up. Is just just click on random things on YouTube while you're listening.
She was talking about big fat penis. Nothing new. That is true. That's par for the course. What are you talking about, step co-host?
Step chat.
I don't understand.
Oh,
step
co-host. Chat. What are you doing? Step co-host, yes. What are you doing? I'm stuck on this body. Oh no, what are you doing?
I know. What would you do? Okay, since you brought that up, since you brought up your new body, since I used to be the one on that, what are you gonna do now that you have that body? Like, what would you do with this body? If you had that, what would you do first?
If I had this body, you don't want me to say the answer. You know exactly what I would do.
No, I don't. That's why I'm asking.
I would beat it until my skin is raw.
Existence, thank you so much for showing up for that. Yeah, well, that's great. That's wonderful.
I mean, let's be honest. Like, I've been dreaming of having a penis, you know, and the dreams are not PG. You know what I mean? Like, of course. What do you think? Like,
okay, hold on. No. I need to discuss this. What are PG penis dreams? What would be a PG penis dream? You're like, okay. Like what is it? Chat.
Like, I don't know, like somebody, like, you know, like you are a very wholesome person and you dream of being a man or a different, you know, genre. A different genre.
Yes, I'm a different genre of person now, you know.
What is it called? Gender. Sorry, I completely missed that word. You are a different gender, right? And you dream of it. Normal people would be like, oh, I'm dreaming of having a different gender, and I'm just, you know, doing this or that, like super normal things, you know. I just dream of fucking bitches all the time.
Okay, so you think Katie Soros says she thinks that a PG penis dream would be wonder what it's like to pee.
Yeah, exactly.
Is peeing PG?
Yeah.
Is peeing really? Yeah. I don't know that peeing is PG. Yeah. Like, I don't know about that.
I would say so. I mean, it's
what PG movie have you seen peeing in? What PG movie have you seen peeing in?
All the time in like movies where it's romantic. It's romantic. It's romantic and all of a
Thank you guys so much for that hype train.
Sarah and ISNT like your sax mouthpiece. You have to wash it.
Why can't text-to-speech read hyphenated words? I just noticed this the other day. It cannot read if you put an apostrophe in it. Not hyphenated. If you put an apostrophe in it, you can't. Yeah. Big Daddy's PG and the cover of the movie is them peeing. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's PG. Like, you don't see a penis or anything. You just see the yellow pee. But yeah, so I
the yellow pee means you're dehydrated. Drink more water. Your pee should be mostly clear. If you have yellow pee, drink more water.
That's very true, but that's also like a way for the movies, you know, to show that it's pee and not just.
Oh my God! Thank you guys so much for this hype train. Code Warrior with the gift sub to Whoppy TV. K-Poco with those 200 bits. Thank you guys so much for
like,
all of the support.
I don't
and
know. I don't know why
appreciate
you
it.
were expecting me to say anything else than rubbing it into my face. You know what I mean?
Yes, I'm sure that's what people were hoping for. Moity Rabbit, thank you so much for that follow.
But that's legit what I would do. First of all, I would rub it until it's raw, or I would rub it a few times, and then I would find some bitches to fuck, and then it would be raw. You know what I mean?
Would you be, okay, here, I have this is a very important question now that you brought that up. Oh my god, nope on that. Thanks for that gift sub to Sammy. Never Muse with the 5 tier 1 gift subs. Thank you guys so much for the hype train. Okay, so here's the question. Oh my god, 5-hit dude now with 5 gift subs. Holy crap. All right, I'm gonna have to mute the sound or it's gonna get super annoying real fast. So I'm gonna let it go through its thing. Thank you guys so much for the gift subs. I appreciate that so much. We appreciate you. Thank you. The alerts are still gonna come up, but I'm just gonna they would. Okay, so I have a question for you.
Yes.
This is because now you're like, I'm gonna find some bitches to fuck and that kind of thing. So do you think if you became a man that you would be like the dudes that send you dick pics, or like the dudes, would you be like the guys in your DMs who's like, I'm gonna find some bitches to fuck? What is gonna be your approach then? How are you gonna find some bitches to fuck? Oh, what works then? Explain to me, since you know so much. Tell me what it would work. If you were a man, what would work?
So for me, because imagine I'm only a man for a day, right? Right? Imagine
Okay.
I'm just a man for a day. So
how long? It's gonna take you a while to rub it raw too. So you're gonna be raw. So now now that it's been like 8 hours.
Now I spend 2 hours in the bedroom by myself, and now I'm like, oh, I just want to know what it feels like with a woman, you know?
Do you know
Or
how
just
tired
in
you will
general.
be after 2 hours in the bedroom by yourself? You'll be exhausted. You're gonna go find
you don't know my
putting yourself at disadvantage.
routine. It takes me an hour to even find a movie that even fits my.
Okay, so your man experience is gonna be 2 hours of finding the right Pornhub video with the right stepsister. Then okay.
And with the right stepsister, and then I'm doing it. Anyways, and then I'm going to a bar, and I only have a day, right? And I only want to I only want to know what it feels
bar,
like
as everyone knows, bars are the best place to pick up women.
Yeah, there is gonna be a woman that is very, very desperate. You know, she might be ugly. You know, she might be not really washed. But I don't care about that because I want to just know what it feels like.
Yes.
To put, the schlong in the...
Okay, so basically what you're saying is you have no standards. You're just saying, I'm just going to do whatever.
Yes, I would have no standards. If I'm a man for a day, I would have 0 standards. I just want to get it in, you know what I mean?
Wolfgang Merck's Twin Stepsisters 2, The Return of Raw Sushi. That's true. That's right. She's going to go into a bar and say, look at me,
there are
world.
some desperate women, especially if they're middle-aged. You know how horny those are? I have seen those at bars. They're very horny. And if you're a young, good-looking man, because I know if I was a man, I would be like,
Exactly, Thomas. That's why I'm laughing at this. This is so hilarious. Please continue.
No,
yes, that's just how it is. Yes.
I would get it. I would get it in. You fucking watch me. Watch me.
All right.
Okay?
Sarah would go to jail if she was a man.
I probably would.
I love this. Northbound Matt. Look at me, world. I'm a woman in a man's body. Let me stick my penis in. That'll work. That's right. That'll work.
Yeah, does that work for you
It's
guys?
called rape. I can't say, you can't leave that word in the chat. That word's toss, isn't it?
Is it? No, I don't.
No?
I don't
Okay.
think it is. Oops.
I'll leave it. I'll leave it. Yeah, I think that's.
Wait,
I think
I'm sorry,
it's toss.
fucking Krantz.
I think it's toss.
I just
It's not.
deleted the
You
word,
can say
but
it. It's not nothing against you. I'm just pretty sure it's
toss.
toss.
And I'm sorry, 5-it-Dune. I just deleted your message too.
Yeah. Did you ban 5-it? Now she's like,
No, I didn't
Mom
ban
Jazz,
anybody.
Mom Jazz, how do you,
anybody.
Mom Jazz, how do you always hit the wrong button? Mom Jazz, what are you doing? And then she does the same fucking thing herself.
I deleted just the message, okay? It's time.
And once she's in jail, the real fun begins. What's even better about that she'll be in jail, and then overnight she'll become a woman again. So she'll be in with a bunch of prisoners. So this is gonna end up in like a prison gangbang scene. Like that's what this is gonna be.
That sounds amazing. Can I please have that? Can I please? How many
level 4
are there?
hype train.
10?
Thank you guys so much for the level 4 hype train. I appreciate that.
How many prisoners are there? Like 10? I'm just trying to get my hopes up here. You know what
Ladies
I mean?
and gentlemen, I'm so excited today to introduce our amazing, hilarious, improvisational guest. Oh my God, Northbound Matt, thanks for those 200 bits. We were so close on that hype train. I
Wait,
appreciate
Sammy
you.
is not here yet. He is.
He is here.
I mean,
What do you mean he's not here? He's here. I'm
here.
looking right
there
at him.
he is. There he is.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
see him looking right at him. Oh my God. Salt Nation gifting that sub to
Thank you,
TJ
Salt
Montague.
Nation.
Thank you, Salty. I appreciate that so much. Did we complete the hype train? Holy crap, guys.
We are
Thank you guys.
Level 5. I think before
Thank you so- oh, no, we're at level 5, so we're
introduce-
close.
Yeah, I think before we introduce Sammy, we're gonna just let the hype train go because otherwise
We have
the
5 minutes until
alerts
that.
are gonna be.
No,
yeah, we have
the
5
alerts are on
minutes.
silent. The alerts are on silent
Okay.
on the performance scene. I'm
Okay,
familiar with
cool.
how to run this show, Sarah.
Oh, okay.
Thank you very much.
I'm sorry,
I
I'm just the co-host
unmuted
here.
them. I unmuted them at first on purpose.
I'm just
I've
the
run a
co-host
stream
here.
before. Thank you. I know she's like,
just
your
the
stream
overly-
sucks. Your
I'm
stream
just
sucks and you wouldn't
overly-
have silent stuff, okay? Whatever.
I'm just
Whatever.
the overly horny co-host here. Okay, just never
Yes.
mind me. Okay?
Anyway, SammySideFX is our guest today. First of all, I just want to personally say before I actually bring him on that Sammy has been a massive supporter of my channel. So not only are we supporting him today, and I'm so happy to have him on and to let people know about him. And for those of you who don't know SammySideFX, you're in for a treat. He's hilarious. He does tons of improv stuff. He has original songs. He has a super cool setup. And he has been a massive, massive supporter of mine as well. He's always here in this channel. He's always supporting. He's part of my Discord.
mine too.
He's such a good dude. So first and foremost, that's one of my favorite parts is Sammy's just a legitimately good guy. And I'm so grateful to have him here. And I'm so grateful for all the support of the first Music Exposed on this channel and getting a level 5 hype train. I think this is the first level 5
guys are
hype train I've
awesome.
had
Thank you so
in
much.
ages. I never
It
get that
means
kind
a
of
lot.
support.
Thank you,
So
guys.
it does. It means a
you.
huge amount. Thank you so much. Andy is from the Midwest hype. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm so excited to introduce our guest today, SammySideFX.
Oh wait, are we live? We live? Hi guys, I'm SammySideFX. Hopefully I don't blow your speakers out. So I'm sorry for earlier. All right, here we go. This one's called Better Than Me. Streets of the city, clicking on the back of my tongue. Man, I feel so pretty, cause you know that I'm on the run. Well, you know they always tell you how to act and who you are. Everyone has got a pass to tell you how to be a star. Oh, nah, this and a blah, blah, blah. Got a fire inside of me. How you overrated, overcome again when you should have done better than me. How you overrated, overcome again when you should have done better than me. Highly overrated, oh my God, I get it when you should have done better than me. Highly overrated, oh my God, I get it when you should have done better than me. Yeah. No, I don't need your pity. Looking my cash is fun. About to purr this kitty. Feel the heat of my sun. Well, you know they always tell you how to act and who you are. Everyone has got a pass to tell you how to be a star. It's all like nah, this, blah, blah, blah. Got a fire inside of me, yeah! Highly overrated, oh my God, I get it when you should have done better than me. Highly overrated, oh my God, I get it when you should have done better than me. Highly overrated, oh my God, I get it when you should have done better than me. Highly overrated, oh my God, I get it when you should have done better than me. Yeah! Yep, just if you don't like what I do, I guess you should try and do it better. Highly overrated, oh my God, I get it when you should have done better than me. Highly overrated, oh my God, I get it when you should have done better than me. Highly overrated, oh my God, I get it when you should have done better than me. Highly overrated, oh All right, how'd that sound? We're good? Good for, okay, I don't know what they're doing. Okay, good. Sounds good and everything? Northbound Matt, thanks for all the gift subs. I know, he's a beautiful, generous individual. This one's called Pathogens. This one's a little different style. Hope you like it. My body, cause you know I'm sweating pathogens. You won't know the half of it, living like I'm flapping it. Breathed out by the future, cause you know that I've been trapped in it. Sleep on burning mattresses, coughing on some averages. It's straight from my body, cause you know I'm sweating pathogens. Help me would you please, help me would you please, help me would you please, while I get down on my knees. Help me would you please, help me would you please, help me would you please, while I get down on my knees. Waiting for that check, waiting for that check. Government don't care, they don't give me no respect. Waiting for that check, waiting for that check. Government don't care, they don't give me no respect. Don't know the half of it, living like I'm flapping it. Freaked out by the future, cause you know that I've been trapped in it. Sleep on burning matches, cough on lots of averages. Stay 6 feet from my body, cause you know I'm sweating pathogens. You don't know the half of it, living like I'm flapping it. Freaked out by the future, cause you know that I've been trapped in it. Sleep on burning matches, cough on lots of averages. Stay 6 feet from my body, cause you know I'm sweating pathogens.
It's getting really, really, really real. You see for your eyes how they really feel. When you're on your side, I'm making your way, your wig split. Makes no sense how they turn the wheel. But lose track of time over couple of days. But put a limit on like this is the game. I'm going insane in my membrane and then ain't ready for this face to go our separate ways. Like, wait, go, she go. I mean, like, wait, go, he go. They would never see us as he go. They would never stop before we see go. And that's why I'm a little loud, all the line. You don't know what I'm so I won't stop. And I'm ready for the world, so I won't drop. And I'm ready for the end to say I'm on top.
You don't know the half of it, living like I'm flapping it. Freaked out by the future, cause you know that I've been trapped in it. Sleep on burning matches, cough on lots of averages. Stay 6 feet from my body, cause you know I'm sweating pathogens. You don't know the half of it, living like I'm flapping it. Freaked out by the future, cause you know that I've been trapped in it. Sleep on burning matches, cough on lots of averages. Stay 6 feet from my body, cause you know I'm sweating pathogens. How are we all feeling today, guys? Hope we're in good spirits. This one's called Calm Me Down. So usually during my live show I do a lot of improv, but right now I'm just gonna hit you with all the hits, you know? Keep me love to her, secret-seeking dinner. And in the end, I guess since it really matter, a million people follow me and lose it and then scatter. Praise my lyrics, my music too. Feel the friction my music can do. A lifetime phone dead fears. Things I do press my peers. Few people I touch in the years. Listen on the thankful for fighting their fears. Hope it all goes on from all the abuse when I try back into it, so I can let loose. And even though she's always there to calm me down, stroke my hair. There's all those people sitting stare, watch it throw away all their cares. They're convinced that I'm not a complete loon. I'm just dissolving all my dreams in a spoon. Oh no, it's a cry. No, no, it's like know all my dreams come to life soon, yeah. Time's good enough to accept the kiss from the only one that cares that acts this good. One more, all right. Thank you, man. Thank you so much. Woo! It's so weird not being like on my channel. It's like, you know, because there's. Okay, cool. Man, all right. Well, I think for. You know, yeah, I won't try to do any improv. I'll try to do one more. A ridge, as we like to call them in the business. This one's called Changes. So far, know you wanna grow, outgrowing your soul and life you wanna make, chance you wanna take, spread your wings and do that dance, pushing for those colors and proving to the others you got the power to take that chance, write your own life and make your own stand. Change that we're going together. Change that we're going where I see myself in the days gone past. If I don't change, I'm never gonna last. Change that we're going together. Until it's through and turn on every light inside your head, disappear instead. Spread your wings and do that dance, reaching for those colors and proving to the others you got the power to take that chance. Write your own life and make your own stand. Change that we're going together. Change. Thank you.
Haven't you guys missed this? Haven't you missed Discovery? It's been too long. Oh yeah. Oh yes. I will do that. I will give you I've been doing production streams actually recently. Let me make sure. I actually don't think anybody else is in the scene, so the audience can't hear you right now. They can only hear me. So when I do this, but Sammy asked me in the background because on my stream I have audio routing a little bit different, so I can talk to the guests and hear the guests without the audience hearing them, which is super cool for me. But Discovery, all of the harmonies and stuff are like that. And if you like music production streams, this is a nice kickoff to the bulletin board. If you like production streams, I have been producing Northbound Giant's new album here on my stream. I'm 4 songs in. Yesterday, if you missed it, we produced probably my favorite song to produce yet off of his album. It's called Everything is Gold. We go from start to finish and we talk about harmonies and things like that. So if you missed that, you might want to watch the end of it when I do the vocal harmonies and kind of how it's working. Code Warrior, thank you so much for that good sub to Calicut. Also, welcome, Calla. But let's talk about the Music Exposed Bulletin Board, which is a huge thing for this show. A lot of people are like, why do you spend so much time working on this and doing this and trying to make everything work? It's because the whole purpose of the show, from my perspective, is to promote original artists like Sammy, who's going to be joining us in a second and killed it today. And there's been some amazing new releases since our last episode that we have on here. Which of the 15 that Sarah tweeted today? Good point. Yeah, she tweeted the call. She tweeted the call announcement over and over and over. So people were sending me songs after I had finished the bulletin board. So it's fine. I went back and added them. But let's talk about what's new since our last show. So Plastic Sun, a.k.a. Plastic Josh. Oh, my God. Thank you again, Code Warrior. You're like, get some to Pet Fest. Thank you so much. Anyway, Plastic Sun, a.k.a. Plastic Josh, a.k.a. Joshua Woo Music, which is what he is now, twitch.tv/Joshua Woo Music, who is the inspiration behind Cigar Box Hotel. His band Plastic Sun just dropped a new track called This Dove's Antidote. You can get that on all the streaming services and YouTube, so make sure that you've got that picked up. It's an amazing track if you guys don't know him. One of my favorite voices on Twitch. Just such an amazing singer. Then the final track to Chase Davidson's new album Starspace, which he's been working on stream over the past few weeks, just dropped. So now the whole album is complete. So Chase Davidson's Starspace is out, and he has a full playlist of all of those songs available on the Music Exposed Bulletin Board. Gary B. Lucas with Adam Gavigan, which Adam Gavigan is better known as GG Prime. A lot of you might know him, twitch.tv/GG Prime. Just dropped a new collab track called Not Like This, which is out. Fort Atlantic dropped one a while back. It's been a while since our last episode, which I wanted to put on here because I love Fort Atlantic. Another song called Tonight, which is up on the Fort Atlantic Bandcamp. Wolfgang Merks, who's here in the chat, W Mr. X. Sarah, can you please mute yourself? That keyboard is so freaking loud in my ear. Thank you. God, she's just typing. That's all I hear in the background. In the background, so it's driving me crazy while I'm trying to talk. Anyway, Wolfgang Merks just dropped a new track called Extinct, which is available. Make sure you check that out up on his Bandcamp. And finally, last but not least, Petfest. Thank you so much for that, for getting that gift sub, by the way, 3 months. And then finally, last but not least, included like 5 minutes before the show, so I got that in here because I realized I missed this one. Megan Lennius just dropped her new song produced by Wax Wayne, which is Hit of You. And she has a video for that, as well as having it available on all the streaming services. So that video and everything is all available up on the Music Exposed Bulletin Board at musicexposed.show. So go check that, and you will find a couple of months now of streamer releases of new tracks from streaming artists and streaming musicians. And with every episode of the show, if you go to musicexposed.show and you go to the episode section, you will find the Music Exposed Bulletin Board for that week. So we have now promoted hundreds of different streamer releases on the Music Exposed Bulletin Board. So make sure that you go check those out with every episode. Listen to the various artists that are on the show. It's amazing. We're so grateful to be able to promote them and share new music. And when I post that on Twitter, or whenever you know of something, please feel free to send me a DM on Twitch or Twitter or Discord. Let me know if you have a new release coming up or someone you know has new releases. And then we also have added to the Music Exposed site, I've updated the section of friends of the show. So if you want to find new artists and new music, which is what I love to do, you want to make sure that you go to musicexposed.show and click on the link that says Friends of the Show, where we talk about all of our amazing friends who help expose various artists and get music out there. Like 5-Hit Dune with Twitch Finds. He actually dropped a 5 gift sub bomb today. Thanks so much for that. And he is the host of Twitch Finds, which finds new streamers and shares their information. The Eargasm, which is an amazing show, which does production advice and listens to all sorts of different music from all sorts of different genres on her show. And then we added 2 new ones. We Speak English Good. Both Sarah, Jazz, and I were on his podcast, and he does amazing work for promoting artists, and is just a super cool guy. So the We Speak English Good podcast is up there, as well as Yen York City, who has been a huge supporter of my channel. So Yen and Luna Soturi host their podcast, where, again, they do longer form interviews with artists and performances. So they do 2 to 3 hours with artists and that kind of thing. So make sure you check those out. Plastic Sun, Chase Davidson, Gary B. Lucas and Adam Gavigan, Ford Atlantic, Wolfgang Merks, and Megan Lenius. That is your Music Exposed Bulletin Board. I love doing that. And Sarah's like, this is prepared, Sarah. She's like very intently looking at something. What are you looking at? What are you doing? What are you doing? What's so important right now? Exclamation mark clap.
My nail. I was painting one of my...
Chat can do exclamation mark clap. Yes, there you go. Thank you. They work. The sounds work. And she was painting her nail. So after that amazing musical performance, I couldn't be more excited. I did introduce him a little bit before, but I couldn't be more excited to have SammySideFX joining us on today's show. Oh, there we go. Everyone is... Now we got the claps. Thank you guys so much. Look at that man and his beautiful little body there.
Hello.
SammySideFX. Okay, Sammy, I have to say that chat gave one of the best descriptions of you I have ever heard. It was incredible. They said that you are XQC with talent. I was like,
I feel embarrassed. What does that mean?
Okay, so are you not? So XQC is probably.
Yeah, XQC is one of the biggest streamers on Twitch.
You're not talking about. Oh, okay, wait. All right, I'll just.
Yeah, he's a big. XQCOW is one of the biggest streamers on Twitch, and he basically just plays games and rants and raves and rages all day. Yeah. But he's huge on Twitch, and so you do kind of look like XQC. That is not wrong. Yeah. You look a little bit like XQC, but
I'm gonna have to check him out
it's
now.
The hair. It's the hair. It's just
it is
the
probably
hair,
the hair.
basically.
Yeah.
It's
Look at this beautiful man. Look at this beautiful man right here. Look at that
It's
guy.
just the hair.
He's a beautiful man.
You are making me blush a lot.
It's true. Well, Sammy, thank you so much for being on the show and for being kind of our comeback episode and the one that launched on our channel. As I mentioned, you have been a huge support of our channel. You're such a nice guy. You're always supporting. I see you in a lot of different things and a lot of different streams being super supportive. But one thing I have to mention, and I want to talk about a little bit, is I've watched your stream a bunch. And normally I think when I'm in your stream, I have not seen you perform your original music. I've seen you perform improv, and I've seen you like working off the chat and being funny and off the cuff. But holy shit, bro, your original stuff is amazing. You need to play your original music more often. Both Sarah and I are in DMs like, wow, like I have never heard your original songs. These are fucking bangers, man.
I thought he was just going to do some Mark Rebillier ripoffs like usual.
No, man, that was bangers.
I have been on your stream quite a bit, and I've never heard those songs. I was like, This is fucking awesome. Why don't
Yes,
we do this all the
like-
time?
Yeah, you need
What
to
the
play your
hell?
originals more often, my friend. That's some advice. The first question is listen to my advice, man. Play your
The first
originals more
question
often.
I
But
I think I play originals almost every stream.
Okay. I
But
just have missed
you know,
them.
I just get afraid of like over playing the same stuff every stream. You know, I
Yeah.
try to make every single. I'm sometimes obsessive about trying to make every stream like the most exciting, you know, unique original thing every time. And of course, that's impossible like 3 times a week. You know, but
Of course. Well, and I think that, plenty of bands make 20, 25, 30-year careers out of playing the same songs over and over.
Yes.
Right.
And people want to hear them all the time. And obviously, I think an important thing is familiarity. It's like I liked every one of those songs. I was like, I love your improv stuff, don't get me wrong. And we're going to talk about that too. I love what you do with the improv stuff. But I was like, man, the songs that you've put thought in and what you've got and with the various parts and how you were doing that, like that, those were killer, man. K-Poco says play more Oasis and Queen. But so tell us a little bit about that. When did you start songwriting and like putting songs together, and how did you kind of evolve into the songwriter that you are now?
My earliest memory of writing a song ever, I think I was like 7 or 8, and I made up a song called Too Bad, and it was about waiting, like, oh my god, it was like a pop punk, Blink-182 Green Day
That's
jam,
amazing.
because that was like, and it was like, too bad your mom left you out in the rain, too bad, I'm sorry. That was
That
it.
is
I can't
so
believe I remember
amazing.
that, you know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
But I have like a vivid memory of like, singing that to myself while jumping in a public pool or something.
Have you written that song? Does Too Bad exist now? Can you play Too Bad on stream? Oh, come on. You need to finish that.
Dude.
You need to finish that.
I'm sure 7-year-old would be like, wow.
That's amazing, though. Northbound Matt's actually a great example of that. I know. Northbound Matt is actually a good example of that. He still plays Rick the Rock, which is a song he wrote when he was like 12 or 13. And it's like,
That's badass. That's
I
awesome.
wish I could remember, like, because I know that
Me
for
too,
me, I
yeah.
started writing songs as early as like 3 or 4, and they were just whatever nonsense that I came up with,
Yeah.
and I would record them on cassette tape. So I know that there's somewhere that exists of me. Yes, I agree, chat. Bring back Too Bad. Too Bad
Bring it
revamp.
back. Make the song.
Too
Write
bad.
it.
Yes.
It's just
Make
like
it.
so like it's like just that obnoxious, too bad. No.
I love that.
Sorry.
I love that
bad.
though. Yes. And so when did you start kind of seriously writing songs then? When did you start getting into it and start like learning the kind of developing your songwriting voice?
Middle school, probably.
Okay.
I think I got like actually, the fundamentals down and actually kind of good at it by the time I was in high school.
Right.
But yeah, I've been doing it for a long time. Music's always been a really integral part of my life. My dad made sure of that. He would.
That's awesome.
When we'd go on. Yeah. My parents were divorced when I was pretty young, and he would like take us on car rides and stuff, and he would just always have like new CDs like all the time, and just tell us all the time how important it was to like listen to music. So I think that definitely had a huge effect on me.
Yeah. Go ahead, Sarah. You can take the next question.
So how long have you been on Twitch, and how do you feel? I mean, how long have you been on Twitch? That's a very easy question. But how do you feel?
Exact
about,
dates. Well, how long have you been on Twitch? How many streams have you done?
And how do you feel as somebody who supports so many music streamers? How do you?
Let's give a shout
I'm sorry.
Yes. Thank you so much
What
for
was
that,
that
host
last
Carl.
bit, Sarah?
Go ahead.
And how do you feel as somebody who's in the music community a lot, especially in chat and stuff? How do you feel about the music community?
Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing on Twitch. Like, I feel like before Twitch, like I was just lost. I live here in Chicago, like in the city. I've lived here for 15 years at least at this point, and I mean, I enjoyed the scene like in real life, but the pandemic was kind of a relief to me. You know, I want to be careful about saying that because I know obviously it was really hard for some people. They lost their jobs and stuff, and for me, I was lucky enough. You know, I'm a bike courier. You know, so I was fortunate.
So it was a busier time for you than I imagine,
it was
right?
great.
Yeah.
You know, I never, and I would joke around like I never thought I'd be thankful to be a bike courier. You know what I mean?
Right,
I feel like, and I was like fortunate. So I had my job the whole time, and I was at home, and then that's when I got really serious about live streaming, really figuring out OBS and all of that. You know, and so I've been doing Twitch specifically, I think for 6 months since August.
Wow. Nice.
Oh, wow,
I thought it was
okay,
longer than
cool.
that, but yeah.
Yeah.
I feel
me
like I've seen
too.
you around longer than that. Were you
Maybe
around
I was like
before you were
kind of
streaming it?
dabbling.
Yeah.
Or whatever, you know what I mean? Because I was still
Sure.
figuring out, like I was using Restream to stream to multiple sources at once, but then I was
Yes,
kind of looking up
yes.
stuff and people were discouraging that, and then I also saw, and tell me if this is true because I kind of just always assumed this,
Sure.
was that it's against terms of service on Twitch once you become affiliate to multi-stream.
Yes, that is correct.
Yes, at the
So-
same time.
That
yes.
is correct.
So
yes.
once I became affiliate, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna, you know, just do Twitch pretty much exclusively.
Right. And that's a question mark for a lot of people, I think. Actually, I saw an interesting video on that coming out, and like a lot of people look at Harris Heller and people like that as like the stream guru. They're like, "Oh, Harris."
Well,
and a
yeah,
lot
and I
of
was
people,
watching a Harris Heller video. And
Yeah,
he was like,
exactly.
if you can't do it just on Twitch, well,
yeah,
you're doing it
well,
wrong or whatever.
And he
I'm
just
like,
moved
okay,
to
well,
he just moved to YouTube.
Yeah,
So
he did.
and a lot of people are
Right.
doing that because again, you know, I don't think that's going to be an isolated thing at this point. I feel like we're going to see like Twitch. The question is if Twitch can get their shit together from a management perspective and a PR perspective, because everything is always so bad as far as the company management right here. And if YouTube makes a play at all, they're 100 times the size of Twitch or whatever. If they make a play into the space, they're going to be a valid competitor. The issue right now is just that they don't have they have better discoverability than Twitch does for sure, which is helpful. They just don't have the social features yet. If they take on the social features, the stuff like rating and how streamers can support each other and start curating a community, and they're moving in that direction. They've added the memberships. They've added some things to do that.
yeah, and that's what I love. You know, that's what makes Twitch to me the superior live streaming platform. Yes, there's some problems with it, but like,
Of course.
yeah, I mean, that's what attracted me to it was just, I mean, it's integrated for streaming. People come here to watch people for hours at a time. I don't think
Yes.
people go to YouTube. Well, I guess probably some people do, but you know what I mean? Like, so like when I'm streaming on Twitch, I know like, okay, the audience that's going to be here. Like, you know, when the pandemic first began, I was live streaming on Facebook.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you'll agree with me. People aren't on Facebook to watch live streams.
Yes. Right.
Okay.
They'll dip in
So,
for
like,
2 minutes,
For
say
me,
hey,
that was like,
and then
yeah,
leave.
2
Yes.
minutes. Exactly. Hey, what's
Yeah.
up? Oh, okay, cool. And then like leave. So, and I know I struggle, and probably because I'm an early creator when it comes to YouTube, to get, you know, I'm kind of scared to like live stream on YouTube because I don't think I'm going to have the same audience that I'm going to have on Twitch.
Yeah, of
You know
course.
what I mean?
Yeah, and I can understand that. But I also
know-
think that and obviously most streamers will say this is my opinion, and Sarah, you can chime in too. I think that it is important to represent yourself, and each channel, each platform needs to take itself pretty seriously. And if you're a video creator, if you're doing live streaming, you have to have some sort of presence on YouTube. Whether it's, even if you're growing it very slow and you're doing those kinds of things, you need it's if you can get traction there over time, and even if you run just a little bit on the ad side, which is what I've done, you can grow your following and your watch time pretty quickly. And that's a huge advantage that Twitch doesn't have. Again, it's a discoverability that you can use to grow that way. Yeah.
You've been using AdSense and it's been successful.
It has, yes. It has, yes.
Because yeah, I was initially using, like, basically what I ended up doing, right, is I had a budget for ads, period. I was running ads for a long time.
Smart man. Good job, by the way.
Yeah,
yes.
but then especially through Twitch is what I discovered is, like, I have more success gaining fans and engagement by participating in other people's stuff.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Like, I have way more engagement now. Like, maybe like the ads would get me like more likes, like the numbers would be up, but
Yes.
you wouldn't get the comments. You know what
Right.
I mean?
Well,
and
and
I
that's,
felt that was the same with YouTube too. Was that
it is. Now that said,
like I would
there-
have, spend an ad and I'd have 2,000 views on my YouTube video, but like if there's no comments, then you know what's
but
up. People are
comments
gonna
aren't
see that and be like, there's no
comments aren't the
on this.
currency. That's the question. What you're really looking for, and plus you also have to consider there are multiple levels of fans, especially fans who engage with music. Like a lot of people just listen to music while they're in their car, or they're cleaning their house, or they're driving around. So having casual engagement's not a bad thing. You definitely want some people that are casually engaged and come in and come out, because not everyone wants to be part of a community, which I agree. It is better. It's more validating for us as artists to have that community, because we're artists and we're needy. And we're just like, I need to know that you love me and that you like me.
I apologize
and,
for it, like at every live stream. I feel so bad. I know, and I'm glad we're going to have this conversation.
It's so important, though.
I just feel like, man, I am such a needy little baby man. Like, I need
me too.
I need my girlfriend to
chat.
coddle me because I'm having an existential crisis every day.
Yes.
Like, no one likes me. My voice is bad.
Yes.
So
Sarah Jazz can be familiar with the Silence Noises version of that, which was this morning at 11 a.m. where I'm just like, I hate my stream and every streamer is better than me. And why is my stream terrible?
Dude. And that's the thing. Is like I'll watch, and I don't know. Hopefully this isn't too personal, but like,
be personal. That's music
Tony
exposed.
Smiley. Have you seen him?
No.
So he's this live looper, and he's a pro, dude.
Okay.
If shout out to Tony Smiley. And
is he a Twitch streamer? Does he have a channel?
Yeah,
Tony
he
Smiley?
is. He is.
Okay. Is it Tony?
Spelled
Smiley?
the way it's spelled, Smiley, Smiley. And
okay, there he is.
He's a live looping performer, I think, from Portland or Seattle but he joined Twitch like maybe it didn't feel like that long ago, right? And he just like meteorically rised,
Yes,
like I was
of course.
I was there at the beginning just like supporting him, like, yeah, dude, here's some tips, blah blah blah, and he just like exploded, like completely
for me,
outperformed me in every facet.
For me, that's the Fantastic Plastics. I was there when they had 3 viewers, and now they have like 400 viewers every stream. And it's nothing against them. It's the same thing. Like, I'm like, holy shit. I have a founder's badge in their channel.
Look, Silence and Sarah, you guys both have an incredible production like behind your streams. Also, I just want to say you're like the cutest couple on Twitch. I love you guys.
Thank you.
I have been just like loving watching this relationship blossom and grow. I love it. And I just got engaged to my girlfriend.
Congratulations, man. Congratulations.
So
it is so good.
It
is so refreshing, man, to see people that are happy. And I know this is a weird thing to say, but like so much of the fucking internet is driven by misery. It's
bitching,
miserable, nerdy, bitchy, complainy people. And I'm one of those people. I'm a miserable, nerdy, bitchy, complainy person. But it's like, then I think about it and I'm like, man, it makes me happy to see people that I like being happy.
Yes.
And you don't see enough of that, because so much of what gets engagement, and like Twitter, for example, like Sarah has to be a massive troll all the time because it gets engagement.
No, I don't have to be. I want to be. But for me, what sometimes happens are people that unfollow me and they're friends, or I thought they were friends. And I'm like, why did you unfollow me? What happened?
That's the roughest, right?
You're too happy on my timeline with silence.
They did. We did. We legit had somebody say that. Like, we don't want to see. It's too much for us.
You can't listen to that.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Excuse you,
that's rough, though. It's rough to see. And Sarah, I consider you like a fairly big streamer.
Yes.
And influencer. So for me, like,
he's calling you a big bitch.
When you're watching, no, that's not. No, absolutely not. I hope nobody clips this.
Sarah's not fat at all. She's just annoying. She's annoying.
Maybe we should like make a bunch of drama videos or something like.
I'm game. We're game. You're in. You wanted. This is the thing. I've told people this before. So my sister
What the fuck?
No, my sister works in a nightclub. I learned this, and I kind of knew this already because I watch a lot of shitty reality TV show. But what I realized, my sister works in a nightclub, and
oh my god, do you really? What do you watch?
Oh, I love stuff like that. I'll get to that in a second. Let me finish the point though.
3 Trick Pony in here. My fiance loves the challenge. Are you a challenge?
No, that's my sister. My sister loves the Road Rules, the Challenge, that stuff.
Yeah.
I watch trashier than that. I watch shit like Jersey Shore. I watch shit like...
She loves Jersey Shore, too.
I love Jersey Shore, Vanderpump Rules, Too Hot to Handle.
Dude, that's
I watch terrible
literally...
shit like that.
Oh, man. Well,
yes,
okay.
but anyway, so getting to my point... So my sister works in a nightclub, and her boyfriend's a DJ Montague, is a streamer as well.
Oh,
and
okay, cool.
Manufactured drama is such a huge part of being an influencer. Most people don't realize how big it is, but people will stage things to happen. So they have been in positions where it's like, okay, during this song, you're going to play this song, and then there's going to be this drama, and we know that the tabloids are going to be watching, or whoever's going to be watching, and people are going to be snapping it on their cell phones. That shit happens all the time. Most people think this shit is real. They're like, oh yeah, this drama between this person and that person is real.
Right?
It's like, the hell it is.
It's all manufactured.
It's all manufactured. And when we tried to do that, part of what fucked our reputation on Music Exposed, Sarah brought that up earlier, was the fact that Sarah and I did a big fake beef. We did it. And I had to retract it. We weren't going to retract it.
I wasn't sure what, honestly, I was just kind of confused.
Well, that was the point. That was the point. You guys were going to watch it get worse and worse, but we wanted to do that because I was talking to her.
This is really awful. I don't want to see it. But,
well, of course, and that's what we wanted. We wanted everyone to be reactive and like, what the fuck is happening? Like, that was the purpose of it because
I think authenticity is cooler, you know.
I agree, but we wanted to do it because we're assholes, okay? We're trolls, okay? And hey, one of my best songs came out of it. No Friends, Northbound Matt. Yes. There would be no Friends if it wasn't for that fake drama that we put together.
Wow.
But we were doing it on purpose to play with that because everybody is doing that. Like everybody that is savvy with social media or content creation or that kind of thing knows. Like right now, I guarantee. Let me be honest. I'm gonna call them out right here. Amaranth and Indie Fox. I bet your beef is bullshit.
Here we go.
Your beef is bullshit. They know. They fucking know.
You just started it, man.
Yeah, they know.
Hey, by the way, I know them personally, and that really bothers me. You know, and I'm gonna have to tell them.
Could you tell Indie Fox to write my name on her banana and I'm not going to pay her for it? That's what I'm going to say. Like, just Indie Fox.
You already have your name on a banana. What are you talking about?
That's true. That is true.
Right
but I'm sure that they know because what happened? What happens when that drama starts? You see Amaranth start streaming like 24/7.
Yeah,
you see her ramp up. You see Indie Fox's numbers go up. You see Amaranth's numbers go up. They know
Do you think
that
they have
this
bots
stuff
and
works.
stuff too, though? Like,
oh, for sure. For sure. For sure they do.
I mean,
sure
dude, and you know, there's parts of me at that. There are definitely days where I'm like, man, should I just buy a bunch of followers? You know?
I listen. Okay, so here's
But
it's
I'm
against terms of
not
service.
going to do it. I'm
Listen,
not going to. I don't want anybody
yes,
to.
yes.
You know, but look. That's the business. That's the business.
It is.
Right?
You're right.
I'm
it
here
is.
to be
it is
transparent and honest with you, with everybody here. You know, your favorite popular people have bought followers. Likely.
Oh, for sure.
Likely have bought followers.
For sure.
I wonder.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You know. So.
I actually have to, as somebody who has been follow bought it though, for me it happened when 2 years ago somebody bought at me with 7,000 followers. And that was really annoying.
Did this happen when you were live on stream too? Were like you live streaming while it happened?
It happens happened on over the course of like 2 days, and the very annoying thing of this was that I didn't feel comfortable doing things like, you know, milestone celebration streams.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, like,
yeah.
oh, I reached 5,000 followers, I've reached 10,000 followers, I've reached 50,000. I was never able to do that because it didn't feel genuine, because I was like, these are not the real followers. And and it was somebody else who obviously follow botted me. Like they skyrocketed my channel all of a sudden because they thought they were doing something funny, I guess.
Yeah.
And Twitch finally a few weeks ago got rid of those follow bots.
I noticed that.
Yeah. So I went from like 22K to almost 16K, which I'm so happy about, because finally I can do milestone. Yeah, I can finally do milestone celebration streams of like, oh, you know, I got 20,000 or something,
so
because I couldn't do that before.
You feel like it more hurt than helped you, basically?
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Because Like, it's obvious that, it's obvious. Like, I
Right,
get follow
yeah.
botted all the time, and it's so
Right.
annoying.
Well, and
Like,
follow
because-
botting is not as useful as view botting is,
that's
and that's
not
the thing,
your-
because discovery is driven by viewers. The only way you get discovered on
Yeah,
Twitch
not
is
by
if you can
follow
rise
bots,
to
yeah.
the top of as at the top of a thing. So follows are
Right.
way more important on YouTube or the social media sites or that kind of thing. But for Twitch, obviously, it's a different game because the views are what are more likely to get you recommended and that kind of thing. We know there's a formula, and we know the formula has something to do with chat with average viewers combined with chat activity combined with subs and bits. Like, how much money are you making Twitch? Because when you have a hype train, like for example, when we had a hype train, Twitch starts recommending you more. It says all aboard the hype train. Like, when you're making Twitch money, that's more likely to do that. So obviously you can't go crazy with it if you're going to do it. Like, if you're going to have thousands of them, that doesn't help you, because then Twitch sees, okay, there's no chat activity.
But
or,
I mean, basically to say, I've noticed that it's not really so important, like, how many followers you have. It's more important about the engagement of the
For sure.
fans, right? Like,
Yeah.
if you have 100 diehard fans, you could probably make a career out of that.
Yeah, well, that's a question I have for you.
So-
like, let me ask you this, because you would do this, and most people would say, if I could guarantee you putting on a show 3 nights a week across the country, and I could put I could guarantee you that there would be 100 people in every one of those rooms, or 75 people. Like I said, all right, you're going to go on tour. There will be a guaranteed 75 people in every one of those rooms, and you're going to play 3 nights a week. Would you take that tour? Most musicians absolutely would take that tour. Of course they
Because
fucking
what
would.
it's really like is like
yeah.
maybe you'll have especially if you're nobody, because I don't know if you're pre-selling tickets, obviously you know how many people are going to be there, but you
Right.
know, anybody's first tour as a band,
Yeah.
you have played
Door deals.
to
Yeah.
no one.
Yeah, 4 people, and 2 of
You
them
have
are your
played to
relatives.
it. You have played to the bartender who walked
Yeah.
away because he needed to take a shit and there was no
Yeah.
one there. So
Yeah.
you know.
And I think that most people forget that, especially most music streamers, because everything in technology and everything in the current realm revolves around numbers. So numbers are the only way that you can really gauge what your
Yeah,
audience is. And it's the only way that you know, like, hey, if I'm going to grow and I'm going to progress, I need to watch those numbers go up. And that shit is incredibly toxic, because that's
is.
different. It sucks so much enjoyment out of it, because if you're
absolutely.
a musician and you're meeting 50 people every night or 75 people, and a bunch of them are the same people on top of it, like, if someone's following your tour around and it's like Northbound Matt is on the bus with you
What if
and
it
he's
was
showing
the
up at every
same
show,
audience
you're going to
of
be like,
100 people?
fuck yeah,
The
every
same
time
audience
you're there.
of 100 people
Yeah.
following you from state to state.
That would be
city to city.
incredible.
That'd
Yes.
be wild.
Yeah,
But
you
yeah,
would
and then
love
it's
it,
like
yeah.
group-
And that also brings me to that too, is like that's why I'm,
Of course,
I'm
Sarah,
trying.
groupies.
Yeah, right. Oh my god, I'm trying not to trip to. You can't. You know what? It's interesting you say that about the numbers and how they're toxic, and because it's like Davey
Davey 504, yeah.
Okay, one of his recent videos, he's got 9 million subscribers, right? And he,
Yep.
He's so rarely like kind of drops his guard, and I think he did a celebration video, maybe it was for 10 million.
Yeah, it was like an 8
where
or
he
9,
was,
I think.
where
I know
he
when
was
you're
just
talking
like
about.
real, and he
Yeah.
said, I'm obsessed with the numbers. Every time I look at a video and it doesn't perform at my standards, like, it's crushing. That's
Yep.
how he
Yeah.
says it. I'm like, dude, you are a success, and you
And
are,
he changes titles, he changes images all the time. He's like,
Yeah.
I will change it until it works.
I
Which
mean,
is like,
that's
wow.
crazy. That's
Yeah.
great, and it just goes to show, like, people. I feel like people think like, oh, once I get to a certain level, I've made it, right? But you
Of
never
course.
make it,
Of course.
right? It
No.
never ends. It is a constantly chugging machine that you have to feed.
Especially for these, they want
know.
your money, because they want your money, and that's what most people
So I
forget.
don't want.
Twitch wants
I
your
feel
money.
like this is getting a little depressing, though. So
No, it's good. No, this is I love. That's why the show is called Music Exposed. I love this conversation because most people are too afraid to have it. Like,
But-
most people
Yeah.
are afraid to have this
Right.
conversation because they're afraid, like, oh, someone from Twitch staff might see this, or I might piss somebody off, and it's like,
Well, yeah, and I
Yeah.
struggle with that all the time. Of like, am I getting shadow banned right now because I just
Yep.
told Instagram that their reel feature is not as good as TikTok's
of course it isn't.
wet feature?
No, it's
or
terrible.
whatever. Or like,
Yes.
can I
Yeah.
not talk about? Even though this political thing is right and just, if I make a political song or something, does that screw me over? Or like,
Yeah.
and I'm very conscious now of like
Oh my
posting
god, I had that
anything
too.
with cursing, no cursing. You know,
fuck
I mean,
that.
it's
Fuck that.
well, like for live streams, it's whatever. But
I
it
get
does.
it.
But for-
Now
I know what you mean.
I am more conscious now of my
Yes.
posts of like, does this, you know, what's gonna push it? What's gonna push in the algorithm? Without obviously, I'm not trying to like adopt trends or anything like that, because I think, you know, the best way to really get pushed is to do something interesting and of
course.
value to the viewer, right? You have to when you're making something, it's like, what does this give value to the person, right? If you're following some trend, you're already kind of obsolete because you're doing something.
Of course.
that
Well, and people want shit that's
thousands of
real,
other
like you
people have
said.
done, right?
You brought this up. Authenticity is, people want shit that's real, and if you're writing something that's real to you, people are going to know it's real. Now, this is the problem with real, and this is what I feel as a songwriter, and you probably feel the same thing. The problem with real is, if you put an opinion out there, something that's really you, you're opening yourself up to the fact that some people aren't going to like it. Some people are going to say, fuck your opinion and fuck your stupid song, and I don't like what you're saying. And,
Well, and
like,
I think
because it is real. Yeah,
I mean,
it
the
is
bigger
real.
you are, that's inevitable.
Yeah, of course.
You know,
Of course.
and
It is.
I see that too with really big creators,
Yeah.
where they're still centering on those negative comments under their YouTube. I'm like, why would you even bother? Screw those people. Who gives a shit?
Yes,
Look at you. Who cares?
Yes,
Who
you
cares?
do this for a living. Yes,
Who
but-
literally
Yeah.
cares about that? Who cares about the dude who like literally put no thought into saying, "You're a poop douche."
You're a poop
know, or
douche.
whatever.
You're a poop douche. Yes, I love that. Okay, quote ad.
You're a poop douche. Yeah.
poop
Thank you.
douche.
Thank you.
I love
Thank
that.
you very
Yes,
much.
SammySideFX.
You know,
Yes,
and see,
thank
and
you.
maybe that's why they pay attention, because look at just the chuckle that received.
I love
And
this so
you know,
much.
I feel like creators say that all the time too, where they're like, I put my heart and soul into this video,
Mm-hmm.
and it got nothing. It got nothing. And then they're like, but then I made this one thing in 10 minutes, and it had got 1 million views.
Yes.
You know? And I feel
Yes.
like that happens
how it
all the
works.
time too, where like
Literally no
the
friends.
more effort, it's like you really shouldn't put effort, I guess.
Like the
It's-
funny part is no friends, which we just talked about. I literally made a joke at the beginning of that song, which Matt loves to post this in the chat because he knows the story, where I literally played the same note repeatedly for over a minute. The beginning of No Friends is just da 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 da. That's all it is. I was like, and I'm laughing at it the whole time of just like, all I'm playing is this one note before the song kicks off.
No, I
and
think
like,
simple is,
yeah,
is
that's how it is.
Special. Simple is there's definitely
Poop
something to be said.
basket. Poop
I
douche
think
song when? That's
Poop
when will
basket.
you-
Okay,
yeah.
okay. So let me explain poop basket for a second. So K-Poco, and yes, K-Poco, I'm shy. That's also another bit. There's a bunch of bits.
You're very shy, yes, of course.
I'm shy. That's how it goes.
I
Just
see.
really terrifying.
Yes, you're
No
very
one who's
shy.
shy would scream, "I'm shy."
Yeah.
That would be really weird. But so the poop basket, I don't know what prompted me to do this. You know, I am a weed smoker, unfortunately. So you know,
You do you. I don't care. Why do we
hey.
care about that?
Why unfortunately?
Because I made a channel point redemption for 500,000 channel points that I will poop in a wicker basket on stream.
I don't know if that's even.
And so this thing, right? No one's gonna get to a 500,000 points. I really hope. Please don't get there. Please don't.
Yes.
is it not against terms of service? Pooping.
It
on
is
stream?
definitely against terms of service. It'll ruin my show. I will.
It's the
Here's
end
what
of
will
your stream.
happen
It's
though.
the final
It's
stream,
like
yes.
if when we're talking about like, you know, trying to get to famous levels, right? That would do
Yeah.
it. If I
Yeah, I
if I
agree. That would make
pooped
you
into a
famous.
basket on
That's true.
stream, I would be on the news probably.
That's true.
right?
Probably.
You
You'd
would
make
be
it.
on
think-
LSF. Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
I would
For
be,
sure.
but there's better ways, guys, and you know, hey, you know, try your best to get up
Is
to
there really,
500,000
though?
points.
Are there really better ways? That's
Is
not
there
what I was
really,
gonna say.
though?
To
Like,
there
that's
really?
the
Are
question.
there? Yes.
Like,
Are
is
there?
there
Well,
really though?
I might, I don't know. Maybe I'll.
Like, I don't know. I mean, you have done tours and stuff like that, right? Like
many tours.
Yeah.
But,
But
Not like
you know
couple weeks
yourself
or
how different it is, right? Like the musician life, I guess, versus like the online content creator life. It's so different. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say the online
Not similar at
content
all.
creator life is like an office job, kind
It
of,
is.
but
It
at
is to
home.
some extent,
It's
yes,
it's
yeah.
interesting. It's interesting.
It is. No, and that's the thing.
And then the
That is true.
musician life is really more. I mean, on tour anyway. You know, is definitely.
Stop it.
It's definitely more complete. It's completely different. Completely different.
Yeah. How do you?
I'd
how
probably
do
be
you-
more
how would
comfortable
you,
pooping on tour than online.
Yeah.
No, you wouldn't
I mean-
because you haven't seen
On
some
a
of the
ba- on a
bathrooms in these venues.
Sorry,
In these
Sarah, what?
venues, no, you wouldn't.
I mean,
Oh, yeah, none of it.
you have probably pooped like outside of the tour bus or something. You know, probably.
Yeah.
You know.
I was never tour. Well, I wish I was tour bus lucky, but
Yeah.
Oh
No,
my
you're in a
God.
van. You're in a van.
outside of the Honda Civic, yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure, yes.
Outside of the Corolla.
Yes, there's a
I
Toyota
just-
Corolla.
I just remember I had a gig with a female musician, by the way, and she was super funny. She was from Finland, I think, and she was 10 minutes late to our gig. And we were like, hey, are you okay? Like, you're never late. And she said,
no.
well, you know, I woke up too late, so I had to put on my clothes and get ready for the gig. And
Hi, Pug.
I really didn't have a chance to go to the bathroom before the gig.
no.
And I really had to go poop. So before I came here, I stopped somewhere in the middle of a forest and popped a squat there. And
Yes.
good.
Dude, have you ever?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I'm interested in. So Sarah, it sounds like you've been on tour, like.
Yeah,
quite a
Sarah
bit.
Jazz has been on tour. Believe me, we've heard. Sarah Jazz is a professional
Okay,
touring
well,
musician.
I want to hear
okay?
about it,
Yeah,
Ken.
tell. Fine. Just do it. It's you two now. Have fun.
Thanks. I don't
Okay,
know.
well, okay. Speaking of forest pooping, have we all had to? Have you? We've all been. Look, as a human being, you know, it's only happenstance that eventually you are stricken with diarrhea, and that's just how it
Yes.
goes. And sometimes you just gotta, you know, hop in that forest and take one for the team.
Yeah,
know?
that's very true.
I've never done
Sometimes
that.
you just-
I've never done
Really?
that.
Dude,
Never.
one time I pooped like on a beach, and that was.
Yeah, like
Why?
someday some kid is gonna come build a sandcastle and
Oh,
find
dude,
this.
it
and
was
then-
so.
Oh
Oh,
my
you have no
God.
idea, dude. I don't know what I ate, but oh my god, oh my god, it was like a cow plop, man. It was bad.
Oh, wow.
Sorry, is
did
this
you
too much?
wipe-
Am I getting
did you
now?
No,
I'm
wipe
this
getting
is
too
Music
real.
Exposed.
I
That's
told
what we're
you-
here for.
I told
We're here
you.
for
How did
this.
you clean? Did you go into the water or?
Oh,
did
I
you
think
poop
yeah, I
in
think
the
I jumped
water?
in the ocean. It was in New Jersey.
Oh, so it's even cold, shitty, salty ocean
Yeah,
water.
it was,
Even better.
yeah.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah, I
my
think I probably had
God.
to shower after that.
Yeah,
It was
hopefully.
in La Valette.
Wow.
I was hanging out with
Yeah.
my friend like at the pier, and then on our way back, we had to walk like miles. Like I thought the walk was gonna be shorter. I'm like, let's walk. And then of
Yeah.
course it's like, you know, in the middle of the night and there's no lights. And we're just
Oh,
on
here
the-
you
on the
go.
beach.
Katie is asking, what about anxiety? Never heard that term before.
Oh, dude, totally.
Anxiety before a gig. There you go. Yes.
Yeah, I used to have that, like, it wasn't always diarrhea, but, like, I would be really anxious. I mean, sorry, I'm hearing three trick ponies laughing in the background.
Yeah, everyone, yes.
No, so we used to have this, like, high school show called Folio. It was once a month, and it was, like, you know, the school talent show every month at the
Right.
high school. I went to New Jersey for my first 2 years of high school, and then I moved here to Chicago and lived with my dad, and then I've been here ever since.
Sure.
So those first 2 years, like before every single folio, right before we were about to go on stage, like I'd head straight to the bathroom and have to, you know,
Yeah, there you
pinch
go.
one off.
There
So,
you go. That's good.
and yeah, it was
Good.
stressful, dude. And they'd
I
always
didn't realize
be
you
like,
were
"Sam,
that
where
close,
the
though.
fuck
You're
is?
in-
Where the fuck are you?"
You're in Chicago, so if we do have, I don't know that with COVID that it's going to be this summer, but we've been talking about putting together a Cedar Point trip because I'm from Detroit, you're from Chicago, so if we do that, you
Oh
have
yeah,
to come.
you were saying you're a Detroit boy.
Oh my God, thank you so
I
much.
was on this super cool interview show. I talked about how I took a shit on the beach.
That's true. It's true. It's
So,
good. This
I
is
have
important.
a question then, Sammy. This is a very important question. Did you have
Please
to
ask
poop
away so
right
I can cheat.
before this show?
No, so I was
You didn't have
okay.
an
Sorry, I guess I
anxious
should have done a moral of the story.
Yeah.
Yes.
Situation. The moral of the story is eventually, I guess I got over it. I played, you know, you end up playing enough shows after high school, right?
Oh.
So
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
You know.
That's good. That's good that
Yeah.
your digestive system can handle performance now.
Yeah, now it's fine. Now it's fine. I'm also like,
It's-
clean off of drugs and stuff. So now I'm like,
That's
not-
good.
That's not probably a problem.
Moral of the story is he needs to take a shit break right now. That's true. That's good. That's good.
I mean, I do
Yes.
still drink a lot of coffee, and that definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Well,
mean,
then you
that
start getting old, and your stomach can't take the coffee the way that it used to,
And I'm
which is
sure-
where I'm at.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean,
it's
I'm
the worst.
approaching 30 this year, so that's
God. It's
stuff
always
is happening.
babies on the show. I'm the old, grumpy old man of Music Exposed.
You're young
man.
at heart.
That's
Yeah,
true.
you're young at
I'm
heart,
very.
what are you talking
What that
about?
means, young at heart means immature. I'm very immature. That's exactly
Well, I
what
love
it is.
I
Yes.
love
That's
it.
true,
And
too.
also, and since we're being real, I also want to say, guys, like I really love watching these, and when you're talking about Twitch and like your experiences, and I know Silence, you've gotten pretty personal sometimes, and I just want to say, like, I really appreciate.
Thank you. Thank
know,
you.
when you
I know Sarah
talked about your-
likes it
I was-
less.
I'm sure,
I like
I'm
it
sure.
more. Sarah
When you
likes
talk-
being
yeah.
personal
about your
less.
family and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
history
Yeah.
of mental illness
No.
and stuff, and
It's
I-
very
you
important.
know,
Very important.
I have my
yeah.
family watching. I can't just, Also, I feel like it's none of people's
Well-
business, like my traumas and stuff. you know
for
what I mean?
sure.
That's
I
fine,
understand.
and that's what works for you, and I
like,
understand that.
My family stopped watching because I say whatever I want. So
And a lot of Sarah's family has stopped following her on social media for those reasons too. So let's be
That's
real.
very
oh yeah, I
true,
heard about
yeah.
that bull
Yeah.
crap, man. You
Yeah,
know,
well,
what'd you
you
say? Your
know-
brother, he stopped following you
Yeah.
because of the boobies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because boobs.
Just because you have boobs, and this is
How
the
dare
thing.
you.
This is,
How dare
we got,
you.
They're-
We gotta
yeah.
normalize. Like, come on, man. It's just two fat sacks.
You have to
on your
normalize
chest.
come on boobies.
All right.
Is that what you were just saying?
You're gonna have to normalize.
Damn it.
Come on
two
boobies.
fat
That's
sacks.
true.
Come on,
That's
man.
right. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Come on, boobies.
So, first, we haven't done this in a long time, but it is overtime. Overtime. I miss doing that for a while. We haven't done that in a
Yeah.
long time. It's good. And this is
I'm
definitely
actually
going overtime.
excited.
So.
I'm actually excited that and I'm happy that Sammy was the first one because your music is so fucking cool. I love it.
Yes.
I need to-
Thank
I
you
need
so
to
much.
check out
You
your
can
stuff
listen to
more.
all of that on the album.
Oh,
He's looking
Sorry.
himself.
I was doing things with my
Yes,
voice. I wanted to keep.
he's pressing buttons now. We've got him into button pressing mode.
All right, sorry. Yeah, when
He's
you
in the
did the
button pressing
overtime,
mode.
I.
Want to be like overtime.
All right, anyway.
That's right. It's right.
But yeah.
So so obviously you brought up, and I love that you bring that up. We want to do a whole stream on it, so maybe you can be part of that once we've got it. We just haven't had time with all the traveling where we talk about just streamer issues. It's going to be part of what other streamers won't talk about. I know that, again, like Sarah said, she brought it up. It's none of anybody's business. She doesn't really want to share her personal life, even though she shares more of her personal life than she likes to believe. I tell this to her all the time. She shares a shit ton about her personal life
share a lot
at a
of,
distance.
Stupid story. I mean, the thing that I, in reality, I share a lot more than people realize because my music is very dark. The music that I write,
Right.
and a lot of it is obviously coming from a dark place, I guess. But my comedy is the same thing. Like, some things are a little over exaggerated or some jokes are over exaggerated, but some things come from a true place. And, and I guess, and what a lot of, comedy and music is basically my way to cope with things and to, make fun of it instead of crying about it. I
Right.
can cry about it later in bed, but that's basically like my way to cope with it and deal with it. And I think, I do share a lot more than people probably realize. But I don't.
I think
want it to
everyone
get
thinks
to
you share a
very-
lot, so.
Yeah, but I don't want to get.
No
into
one's like, wow, Sarah's
very
a super
personal
private,
level.
guarded person. No one thinks that.
I think it's. I have a question for you guys. Do you ever feel like you struggle with like your brand because it seems like we're all kind of comedic, but we also like to write serious songs.
You're naming
know
my
what I mean?
core thing. My core issue is that.
Silences. Yes.
I think about that every fucking day because my personality and my art are different. They're different things. And I love this. I posted this a couple weeks ago on Twitter. I love this quote that I found from Audrey Hepburn that was saying that I take my art very seriously, but I do not take myself very seriously, which is how I am. It's like when I'm working on my music and I'm working on my art, or anybody that watched that stream yesterday, or any of the Northbound Giant streams, or when I'm producing my own songs, or when you're watching me write, I'm pretty serious. Like I might throw in a meme here or there, but those streams are pretty serious streams because my art is a serious thing. It's a serious endeavor. It's an expression of who I am. It's something I've spent years developing, learning how to do that skill and do that thing. And yet, my personality isn't that. And if I'm on a stage if I was doing this live, or I'm performing karaoke, or I'm on a stage, my number one goal is connection to an audience. And I know on video and on Twitch, our number one goal as streamers is to connect to an audience. We have to do it. Like, otherwise we're not going to be successful. No one's going to stick around and watch us. But my personality isn't the dark, serious, dealing with trauma, dealing with shit. Like, every once in a while, I'll bring that out, and I'm comfortable with it. And I also feel like that's one of the things for me that's a little bit of old man wisdom. I know that normally I don't like to bring age into the equation, but Sarah's almost 10 years young. You guys are both almost 10 years younger than me. And I've been a professional speaker for years and years and been on stage. And what I kind of realized is that if I say it, it can't hurt me. Like, and a lot of people don't realize that about, if I share something and I choose to share it, I have the power over it. If someone else chooses to say something, and whether it's true or not, they have the power over it. So I take my power back.
As long as it's respectful of other people. If you're, you know what I mean?
To some extent, yeah. But even then, I have the, like, so if I say something shitty about you.
Obviously, if you're talking trash about other people, then it isn't just falling, then all of a sudden it's a problem.
That said, if you talk shit about other people, you still own it. The way you own it is the impact of it, because it actually has an impact on you. Like, it has an impact on how people look at you. It has an impact on how people take you. Like, yes, how you handle yourself is important. But when I'm talking about details about myself or my own life, I've just learned over years, it's like, man, I was so scared of that. If you talked to me 10 years ago, I would tell you, oh my God, never say anything. Put on your armor. Don't be vulnerable to an audience. Don't put yourself out there. Like, people could hurt you. People could hurt you. And I'm like,
people love storytelling, though.
Yeah, people love that shit.
Yeah.
So for me,
I think people really crave authenticity these days, especially when there is so much content. I mean, it is. We are competing with every Tom, Dick, and Harry. You know what I mean?
Of course.
So
you're competing with the Beatles. You're competing with the Elvis. You're competing with Michael Jackson.
Out,
like,
you know what I mean?
Well, and most people are like, what do you mean? I'm like, right now, we live in a time where all entertainment in human history is now available in your pocket or on your screen. Like, we are competing with the greatest acts in history. Like, when you're on Spotify and you're dropping a new track and you're one of the 10 million or 20 million a day that are dropping new tracks, those tracks are going right in against all those people.
Damn, you think it's really that? You think it's really that many, or were you just throwing out numbers?
Oh, it's way more than that. It's actually, I think that's a lowball number. I think it's something. There are millions of tracks released every single month on Spotify. Millions. And it's I think they were saying on YouTube, it's something like millions a minute. It's like something like 7 million minutes of content every minute or something like that. I don't remember exactly what it is. But the reason that I'm that way is it's just part of my personality. I'm an authentic person, and I just put myself out there. And also what I've learned over the years, and to anyone that's scared of it, if you control it and you control how you handle yourself and you control the conversation about it and you're doing it with good intentions, it can't really hurt you. And that's again, I know just life experience of when we're young, all of us are like, oh my God, my reputation and the outside world could do this and all these things. But at the same time, if you're just a genuine person, especially if you're an artist, like we're all artists here, we're songwriters, we're musicians, we're doing that. Like, yeah, you put yourself out there all the time, and what you start to realize is actually, for me at least, it's more fulfilling to live that way as opposed to the alternative, where I lived very shut down and closed and was afraid to be who I was, afraid to look the way I wanted to look.
Yeah, I think my favorite, I think most people's favorite musicians are the ones who are, real, right? Or people's favorite actors, or, they're like, yeah, he's really down, the phrase down to earth.
Yes,
of course.
So I know it's refreshing when people get vulnerable.
But then
when they're
as you
on
said,
a world stage,
But then as you said with Sarah, and this is where I defend Sarah's point of view a little bit, that obviously it's none of the world's business. And one of the issues about being more of a personality brand, which Sarah's brand is probably like 80% personality brand, 20% business, music and creative and stuff. Whereas my brand is probably 50-50 or maybe even 60-40 artist to personality brand. So when you're a personality brand, you got way more people coming at you with shit. You got way more dudes that are coming at you. You got way more criticism. You got way more shit to deal with.
Sarah
so that
handles
is harder.
it flawlessly because every time I'm in your stream, Sarah, you're like, oh, this bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. It's true.
You're like, I remember I was on your Sarah's stream once, and I don't know, some guy. He was kind of like doing some catcalling, basically.
Yeah.
The equivalent of catcalling in trap.
Oh my God, boobies! Oh my God.
Yeah, something. It was basically about boobies, and Sarah was like, "Oh yeah." And then he's like, "Oh, why are you so offended?" Or like, "Oh, you don't. Why don't you smile more?" That.
Yeah, of course, that shit. Yes.
And Sarah just like batted. She's like, "What are you talking about?" I wasn't even angry at what he said. I don't even know what you're talking about. I'm just here bouncing, doing my thing.
Yeah, I'm here bouncing, doing this Dream Raider stance.
So, and I think that's really, I think that's tough, man. I think that would be tough if I was like always dealing with that all the time. So I just want to commend you, Sarah.
Aw, thank you.
You will. If you keep doing what you're doing, the thing is,
you will,
on a
don't you worry.
on a long enough timeline, you will. And it's the same for me. I've dealt with I'm nobody on the internet too.
Right.
I've just been doing this long for 2 years, and the amount of shit that I have put up with doing this is already huge.
I'm not saying
huge.
it's never happened to me.
You
it's
will.
It's just not frequent. But like, I will say, so I've been trying live streaming on Reddit lately.
Yeah, I've been very interested in that. Yeah, how's that been going for you,
dude? I mean, I almost feel like I'm giving away a secret, but it's basically
we both were talking about this 2 or 3 months ago, so yeah.
I mean, you're not gonna make money off of it, I don't think, because it seems like anybody who's live streaming there they always have their Twitch on top. It's more like
it's a discovery
promo,
thing, yeah.
But the discovery is huge.
Sorry, I had to do that. You said the magic word.
I did like an hour and a half stream, and it had 500 views on it.
Yeah, nice. And I've seen other artists doing that, which is why I've been interested in it. I just hadn't been.
But of
in
course,
the US
like
to
it's
do
pretty. It can get pretty toxic because it's Reddit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
of course. Reddit is toxic as fuck. Yes.
Yeah.
But I feel like it is. I think I'm gonna keep doing that, kind of just like, because I just won't announce it. I'll just go live on Reddit. Basically, what they do is they have their own OBS thing. It's basically just like OBS Studio, but it has the sequencing, right? It's supposed to be like phone camera mode or whatever, right? So you can still use your desktop, but it seems like you're streaming from your phone.
Now here's the question. Can you virtual camera OBS into it? Because that was one of the things I needed to figure out, is because I can't leave OBS. OBS is my...
I just wouldn't... I mean, basically, if you want to stream to Reddit, like, I just wouldn't... I would kind of do, like, a toned-down version of what you do on Twitch. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not doing all... I don't have Scrotalicious and all that other stuff that I...
Well, for me, literally, my whole stream hinges on OBS, so I don't really have a choice. It's like I can't really do what I do without it. Yeah.
The same interface.
Yeah, that's what I thought, and that's what I'm curious. I know that they have that, and I know that actually you're not the first person. So the first people I noticed doing this. The other cool thing about Reddit is you can restream on YouTube at the same time. So you can be on YouTube and Reddit at the same time, which I am seeing streamers do actually. And the first streamer that I saw doing that was actually Tammy Black Media. So I'll bring that up, and Sunny in the Black Pack. So Sunny in the Black Pack and Tammy Black Media do it. And I think the reason that they did it is Ryukar, because Ryukar recently left Twitch and went back to, he's just doing everything on YouTube now. And he's obviously a bigger streamer.
So why are they doing this? Is it because YouTube takes way less of a cut?
I don't think it's that.
I think it's 50%
YouTube,
still.
It's the same. I think there's a couple things.
God damn.
Which is too much. 100% agree. But YouTube,
it is too much, dude. The bits, like, and I think,
it's too much.
Dude, streamers get a discount on bits, basically.
No.
Is that how that works?
No,
because my bits, like, I only spend $7 per 500.
No, we don't get discounts.
we
It's
don't
the
get
same.
we don't get anything.
No one
really,
else.
other than a
You guys
platform.
don't have that? Because
No.
everyone else has to spend $10 for 500 bits, but mine have been $7.
Huh?
I pay less for
Let me
bits.
see. I
than
cannot cheer in my own
everybody
channel,
else.
so I can't look it
That's
up here.
so weird. I have no
I don't
idea
know.
why
I'll
I
look
have
that up. I'll look it up, but the curiosity
but,
about
like,
it,
yeah, man,
I've seen
50
big streamers. This has been the thing that makes me pay attention because both Sarah and I watch the industry a lot. And my marketing brain can't help it. Like, I'm always watching the industry. And when I see a lot of big name content creators actually focusing a lot more on YouTube right now, and people realizing how piss poor the discovery is on Twitch and how manipulated it is, and how you can see things like the only reason things like the hot tub meta can happen on Twitch is because
I
of
feel like
Twitch's terrible
discovery is
discovery.
Tough
Yeah.
on YouTube too, though, if you're nobody.
Yes.
You know?
Yes, but there's
I mean,
more
I'm
options.
like, yeah,
there's more
you know.
options. That's where it's like, at least with YouTube, you have some things that you can do that can help in the early days. Whereas on Twitch, you just have to grind. Like, it's just like, all right, you just grind and you have to spend. I used to have a rule, and I don't do this as much anymore, but I used to have a rule that I would spend double the time in other people's streams as I would streaming. So if if I streamed 6 hours that week, I would spend 12
Right.
hours in other people's streams.
So I want to go back to the ads. I stopped doing ads and focused more on doing that. Just going to other artists. And I took the money that I was spending on ads and I bought bits. I bought subs. I invested it into other streamers.
Yes.
To develop, a community and to show, like, I'm here in good faith.
Yes.
And that was kind of basically my advertising.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
and that. I did the same. I actually did
So
the
now
same.
I just
I
do that
tracked it on a
because
spreadsheet.
I'm still unsure because I've been doing the advertising thing for a long time, and I'm unsure.
There's both. Now again,
Really
those
the
are two
benefit
different.
of it
Those
if
are two
you
different.
are small.
Those are two different activities. That's the thing, though. You're working on two different. You're finding two different types of audience there because you need both. In the long term, the people you need a list essentially when you release something, and you need subscribers to release something to, and you need a big casual audience that's going to check in when you drop casual stuff, and then the audience that you're curating by marketing and other streams and that kind of thing is a more loyal, committed live streaming audience. Now, here's the thing that's important about that, and this is something that a lot of people forget and don't think about. My live streams get me tons of activity and traction on my music that do not translate to streaming or to the other streaming platforms. People that watch me on Twitch don't listen to me on Spotify, on YouTube, on any of those things, which is an interesting thing because I watch all that stuff. And so what's interesting to me is that I need both, though. Inevitably, I want to have an audience that when I drop a song on Spotify or drop a song on Bandcamp or something, people get that, which is a different audience than the people that are on Twitch.
Have you been doing like Submit Hub and stuff like that?
I have no interest in that. I've thought about it, but for me, I'd rather because I have experience in ads. Because I've experience in ads and have done that kind of thing before, I kind of rely on what I know. Like, I don't like as far as curators are concerned, I haven't heard of anybody in fucking 10 years that reads a music blog, which is always like, for PR, that's a nice thing. I'm like, who the fuck reads music blogs? And second of all, it's like playlist stuff is okay, but when I was focused on that, like at least in my experience and doing things like that, like it wasn't getting me recurring listeners. It would get me one listen or whatever. Like the big thing I noticed is there was a big push on Twitter when the DMCA thing dropped. And everybody was like, please let me add your music to my playlist, and please let me do this. And I was probably added to 50 fucking playlists at that point. The only playlist I get any plays off of to this day is International Space Bacon's playlist.
That's
and I bring that out one, and it's him listening to it. So that's where I'm like,
that's the thing is it's not it's about quality over quantity. You don't want to just be on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of course.
But yeah, I stopped
to some extent. There's both.
It's hard
there's
to like
both
cover all
value.
these bases. You know what I mean? And then what's something I also noticed is that I used to I would do a video and I'd post it on all the platforms. But now I realize people go to certain platforms for certain things. So TikTok, I focus doing duets or stuff like that, right? Like in interacting that way. On Instagram, I focus on reels and short content. And then on YouTube, long form content. Teaching people stuff like the last couple of videos I have done are tutorials on how to loop.
Right, of course,
People
yeah.
go to YouTube because they want to learn things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and it's just like, and then on top of that, you also have to try to get your music on playlists so anybody will hear it.
Exactly,
You
of
know?
course.
And it's
No, you're
just like,
describing the dilemma that you are
this
no
is just
longer
all the
just a
shit you have to
musician.
do.
You're
Right.
not a
Oh, yeah,
musician
no.
anymore. You're a multimedia business that has to
Yeah.
manage 6 different platforms
Content
and
creation,
content
man,
and
it's
stuff.
just
Yeah,
like,
content
yeah.
creation.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing that cracks me up about it, because everyone will then say content creation is such a glorious fucking job. And I'm like, actually, no, it's
it is
horrible.
mostly unpaid internship.
Yes, exactly. For the most part, the
And
amount of work
like
for the
what
amount
you
of
said,
return is
Sammy,
huge.
about
Yeah.
that the content creator is basically an office job, which
Right.
It
I've
is.
never thought about that, but you're
It's
right.
like a
actually.
stay-at-home office job, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Definitely is. It's a prison for a lot of people, because for some people to stay as successful as they are, they have to stream 10, 12
Casper,
hours a day.
sorry, I just wanted to say that.
No problem.
Animal poop.
They never
Ooh,
take
animal
breaks.
poop.
They never take vacations. They never see their family. They spend 2 years completely removed from society
Well,
and
and
have to
that's-
stream all the time to maintain their
Dude,
momentum.
that's
I
the
was
thing
doing that
too,
on purpose.
is since
like
since
tough. So tough.
You know, since the pandemic, I don't know. I just basically this past year and a half, like I spent years just kind of lost, and I was always a musician and making albums and doing stuff and playing live shows and blah blah blah. But I was more of like in a rock band kind of thing, and then I started getting serious about looping, and the pandemic happened, and I started getting really serious, and I quit drugs. I was doing a lot of hard drugs and stuff on and off for years. And so this past year and a half, I've been clean. I've been
That's awesome, man.
extremely focused
Congratulations.
on this, right?
Congrats.
But thank you so much. But of course, like what I realized, because now this is my new not my new obsession, but this is my obsession now, is like content creation, being a musician, making this a reality. So I'm also doing sync licensing, and writing theme songs for people, I've been producing
that's
songs
awesome.
for other streamers, doing video production work, anything I can. It made me realize I can't go out to a bar and drink with my friends. I don't have the time, because
Nope.
I gotta do the live stream at the same time every single week, 3 times a week, and then also produce songs for sync licensing every single week, and do this and then and that. And you realize, like, you give up like everything. You give up a social life to have this life. You know what I
Of
mean?
course.
Like,
That's true.
If you are really serious and you want this to be your job, it's your life. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's
Well, or you
if
get
I
lucky.
want to see people,
and
I
that's-
have,
you get
or
lucky.
you get lucky.
with-
And if I want to see people, I have to sacrifice something. I have to be like, well, I guess today I'm just not going to live stream because I need to,
Of course. Of
be a
course.
person.
And then you start thinking about, I'm not going to live stream today, so I'm losing X amount of subs or bits
Or whatever, yeah.
donations.
That's what we were just talking about, yeah.
And this month I'm already behind.
Well,
and
I think it's tougher for you, Sarah, because it is for you a full time.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
I don't make that much money from Twitch, but so like for me, if I like miss a live stream, it's not gonna kill anything. But it's at the same time, I'm like, I think people, you guys might understand this. When you take a week off or something, it's like when you return, there's not as much fanfare or something as you
Of
thought
course.
there'd be, or like you drive.
There isn't.
It's
Yeah, there
almost
is no
like
fanfare.
they depend on your continuous occurring at the same time kind of thing.
And
Whatever.
that's Twitch.
Yeah, they don't,
That's
because
keep
there's
that.
so many
yes.
people, because you have so many other people that are filling that hole. Like the moment
Right.
you get
Right.
off stream,
Right.
there's somebody else that is, either similar or, different, and people are like, oh, this is my new home, and it's very, because
Yes.
the internet is so fast. I always say, like,
Yeah.
there's, the internet goes so fucking fast. Like 1 year on the internet is like 10 years in IRL. Like it's worse than a dog's life.
Well, and the thing is too, like people have lives. You can't expect them to always be at your streams all the time. I mean, people
Yes.
just
Yeah, of
have
course.
lives. People are fickle. The internet is fickle.
Yeah.
So I also have to be, when I get to those depressed moments where like, that's why I personally cannot see the number count on my
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah.
on my stream manager or whatever. Like I
Yeah.
keep that
Yeah.
off. I'm like, you know what? I can't even worry about it because it's
Yeah.
going to affect my performance. Like if I care how many people are watching. You know what I mean?
Well, and this is the thing. This is the thing.
Instead of being happy for the people that are, I mean, and that also hurts the audience too, right? If you're in a stream and you have a certain amount of people, and you're like, oh man, this is depressing.
Yeah.
No one's watching me. Well, then the 10 people who are watching you, what the fuck are they? Chopped liver?
Yeah.
They're gonna be like,
exactly.
What the fuck, man? What's your fucking problem?
Exactly.
I'm watching. I'm the one who's watching, bro.
Well, and this is let me give I'm gonna give some life advice to people, and you might not agree with me and you might not like it, and I really don't care because that's what I do. The reality of it is Twitch is not the real world. Live streaming is not the real world. The internet is not the real world. It's all dressed up as a costume, telling you this is the most important thing, and everything moves so fast, and everything is this and that. But let me be honest with you. You're all gonna die someday. I talk about that on on the show all the time. You're all gonna fucking die someday. You're all gonna get sick. You're all gonna have life problems. You're engaged right now, Sammy. And let me be honest with you. While this is important, and you should have, when you're at work, you work hard. You put in those hours. You do the things that you do. But you work to live. Don't live to work.
Yeah,
and everyone makes that mistake when they're fucking young and they have energy. And then you wake up one day, like I did, and I went through this, in my early 30s, and you'll realize you have health problems, you have mental health problems, you have stress, you're fucked up. And that's, again, not saying don't be ambitious. What that might say is, all right, look at your platforms, look at your TikTok, your Instagram, your Twitter, whatever, your YouTube, and say, one of these just isn't working for me. I'm just going to stop it. I'm going to get rid of an activity. I'm going to cut back on a stream. I'm going to do something silent. I'm going to do that. Because let me tell you what, at the end of the day, when you die or when you're on your deathbed, no one's ever going to look at you and go, man, you were so fucking great at your work.
Yeah, they're going to be, well, I hope they do. I guess that's maybe they might, dude. You don't know.
No one does that. No one does that. No one does that. They talk about, you know what they talk about?
No, they're going to go to my YouTube and they're going to be like crying like,
they're going to be
he was so talented.
This content. No one's going to say that.
So
what they're going to say
underrated.
is he was a good
handsome,
person.
and I just ignored it.
Yes, that's right. He was a
If
nice
only I'd
person.
known.
He was a nice guy. He was a good dude. He did this for me. I enjoyed this time together. I enjoyed being on those things. Yes, that might be part of your work. But the reason I say that is everyone needs a little perspective. And I think Twitch streamers, we get fucking locked in this world of like, Twitch is the real world. And this is what things are really like. If you go to a fucking restaurant, and this is the test, go to a fucking restaurant, any restaurant in your area, and walk to the tables and be like, hey, do you know what Twitch is? Everyone will be like, what the fuck is Twitch? That's going to be 90% of the world. What is fucking Twitch? And the people that know what Twitch is
they're like, are you okay?
They're going to be like, hey, is Twitch, isn't that my kid plays Minecraft on Twitch?
Right.
Like, that's what they're going to say. So I respect people who work hard.
Like,
but
at the
don't
end of the day, dude,
make it
it's
your
a
life.
platform, and you know what?
Yeah.
Like,
don't make it your life.
There's gonna be new platforms, even though it does seem like we might have Facebook as the government situation. Who knows?
Yeah, I love Facebook.
We might have that might happen. We don't know. Like when I was watching Idiocracy, dude, it's like, is this a fucking documentary of like very soon? You know?
Yes.
No,
but I just say that because this is so
totally
hard.
Right. You're totally
it's so
right.
hard.
Because
if you don't do it, no one's going to do it for you. And this is the thing that no one is going to step into your life. This is, as an adult, and this is the toughest part, no one's ever going to step in, other than people that care about you, and only for a while. The people that care about you will only put up with the shit for too long. If they say it 5 times, well, but if they say it 5 times, they're going to stop. They're going to be like, all right, you're just going to be a workaholic. I'm done now. I'm done having this conversation with you. And they'll move on. So you have to regulate yourself. And that's where it's like, at the end of the day, yes, everyone wants to be successful. We all want to be successful doing what we're doing. Yeah, and most people don't even know Twitch has a music section. And those that do...
Twitch is for gaming.
Twitch is for gaming. Yeah, it's not for hot tubs or...
Matthew Heafy.
It's not for
and
hot
T-Pain,
tubs or
apparently.
music.
Okay, well, T-Pain is heavy. His shit is hilarious.
I think T-Pain's great. I just think that T-Pain... Yes, he's a great guy. It has nothing to do with that.
Yeah, he's really cool. Like, I was never like a giant T-Pain fan. And
Me neither.
I watched his Twitch stream. I'm like, this guy's awesome.
Yes.
This guy's hilarious.
So I'm gonna wrap it up. Thank you so much, Sammy, for being here, because we've been on. This is almost the longest music exposed in history.
Yeah,
which is why we could do this forever. No, don't. Why are you so?
Don't be sorry.
Get out of here with your sorry. You're not sorry.
I'm so sorry.
We love you. If you guys don't follow SammySideFX, you need to follow him. We,
Yes.
you know, he is an
Diana
amazing
Wade.
stream.
Princess Diana.
Where do we find? I want to know where we find the music that you played. Do you have the music for sale on a Bandcamp or somewhere? Where do we find your music?
Oh, it's on all the streaming platforms. That's SammySideFX. It was originally my actual name, and I've just made the transition. So now, when you search up SammySideFX on Spotify or what have you, you will find my latest album with all those songs I just played. So
killer.
Really
Amazing
like it.
music.
Please listen to it. Please.
And follow him on all the platforms.
No, I'm joking.
Follow him on YouTube. He's very shy. He's very shy.
Just do it.
I'm
He's
shy!
Just do it. Oh wait, hold on. Now that is a meme I can get behind, friends. That is a meme I can get behind.
Let's do it.
Waifu, I'm shy. I'm shy.
Let's do it.
I'm
right.
shy. I'm shy. I'm shy.
I love this.
All right,
All
anyway,
right,
you
Sammy. We have to kick you off the show
Sorry,
now.
I'm
just kidding.
sorry.
No, I love you, man.
No, I
Thank you
will
so
make
much,
this-
Sammy.
Thank you so much. I
for
really
being here.
loved the conversations today. That was really awesome.
Yeah, you're
It was
awesome.
very,
Oh my
very
God.
awesome and organic.
Please give Sammy some love. I love guests like this. We'll definitely have you back when we do future stuff.
When
yeah.
can we see you next time?
Yeah. You stream
Like,
next.
what? Oh, when I stream next?
Yeah.
Monday night at 4 p.m. Central.
So that'd be 5
or-
Eastern, 2. So the same time as Music Exposed, 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific.
Yes,
Yeah.
but on a Monday, so hopefully not.
Monday.
On a Monday. Yes.
Hopefully not stepping on anybody's toes here. So
Don't worry about stepping on anybody's toes.
But-
just
but
perform when
just-
you need to perform.
whoever's not following me, just give me a follow, and then I'll pop up, and you're like, hey, you know what? Maybe I'll check them out.
And he'll
check
poop
'em
in a
out.
basket for you for
And I might
500,000
poop in a
channel
basket.
points.
And and no one got to see this, but typically on my show I do a lot of improv. I won't play the originals. I'll play them more often as per your guys' suggestion.
Yes,
Yes.
please do.
But you guys, I love to do this thing. Like I just played this meme.
Yes.
I have a sampler, and you guys send me memes, and then I chop them up, and I make songs out of whatever you send me. It can be anything, and I'll make a song out of it. So it's very interactive. And,
Yes.
that's
He's got
that.
an awesome stream. I love hanging out there. Thank you so much for being here. ! Clap in the chat for Sammy. We appreciate you. When we do new stuff in the future, we'll definitely have you back. You're amazing. Thank you so much for being here. We love you.
Yeah.
No one's ! Clap. We have to wait for the chat delay. There it is.
Oh, I love music so handsome. Yeah. Oh, I love music so
Thank you so much, Sammy, for being here. We appreciate you. All right. You're good. Bye.
Bye.
All right. What a fun episode back. What a great
Yes.
guy. I he is such a huge supporter of everything and everything we do. I'm so grateful for him.
Hearing his chair fold.
Yeah, we're hearing him. He didn't hang up the call. He's still there, so we can hear him. Yeah, you can hang up. But what an amazing, yes, that's great.
I'm doing banana ASMR.
I'm like weirdly aroused by this banana ASMR.